Boom, and here we go. Anthony on Air podcast. Frankie C is here. How you doing, my man?
Hanging in. How you doing?
Big show.
Just ignore my question.
You.
That's fine.
Hmm?
I said, how are you doing? And you ignored me.
Nobody cares how I'm doing.
All right.
Amber Heard testimony continues. Day 3. We'll recap a little of day 2 as well. Pretty shocking stuff. Again, the Mac shop owner breaks his silence on the Hunter Biden laptop. We got some crazy details for you, including his password that is going to definitely give you a chuckle.
Who's ever going to this guy, by the way, ever again?
Probably not a lot of people, but he's the most famous Mac shop owner that we have now, basically.
You can't trust him with your shit, though.
I guess not. Florida officials reveal the context of the banned math books. Remember that story a couple of weeks ago with DeSantis banning the math books because of woke whatever? I actually got to see what was really in the math textbooks, and it's a little disturbing.
Disturbing?
Yeah, I don't love being on Ron DeSantis' side with much, but I might be on his side on this one. Johnson & Johnson vaccine gets restricted by the FDA. We'll get into that. Britney Spears' naked preggers dog pics. Will Smith and David Letterman will sit down and talk on Letterman's interview show. There's a catch there, so don't get too excited. Proud sponsor of our episode, of course, as always, is Jumpstart Coffee Company, and we're going to be talking about Nespresso this episode because they have a cocaine problem.
Yikes.
Speaking of cocaine problem, Trump thinking about bombing Mexico. That came out. Pompeo steps up against Trump. The Virgin Atlantic flight and that shocking mishap that happened. Plus, Ireland, Baldwin admits to breaking up with her boyfriend or maybe fiance. I'm not sure, because all he wanted to do was bang her mom.
Call me overly cautious here, but do we have a lot of
cautious? Oh,
do we have a lot of topics?
A lot of topics. That's why we got to move fast. And like I told Frank, we got some we got a little bit of news to get to on the old AOA podcast. Let's get it going. So our own personal news, and some may already know this. We lost Frankie C. All right, there you go. But our personal news is we're back on Facebook, no longer banned on the Facebooks. So super excited about that. Hello, Facebook world. We're back.
I hate this setup. I literally have the view chat button next to the leave this room button. They're literally an inch, like half an inch away from each other.
All right, the news, Frankie C, is we're no longer banned on Facebook. We're back on Facebook. Hello, Facebook world.
Hey, bada bing.
So good to be with you again. Appreciate the support. We're happy to be back here.
It's about damn time.
Yes. Still don't know why we were banned, but we're back. So
you're banned.
You banned, Jerry. Amber Heard testimony, day 3 of her testimony. More shocking and crazy stuff here. And I had this thought, Frank, as we dive into all of these things and what we're going to talk about. Or should we do Biden first? What do you want to do?
Biden? What happened with Biden?
Hunter Biden.
Oh, Hunter Biden.
The Mac shop.
Whatever you want.
Let's do the Mac shop first.
Okay.
It's audible. Let's call it audible.
Cool.
Let me do the Mac shop stuff first. Okay, so John, Mac shop owner, John Mac Isaac is his name.
His name's John Mac?
Supposedly. I don't know. I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what they're telling me.
This is seeming flimsy. But
I should say
flimsy.
Full name is John Paul Mac Isaac.
Okay. That's 4 first names, but okay.
And he's written a book, Frank. So
his name is John Paul George Ringo.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
He's written a book called Sergeant Pepper. No,
Mac and Me.
Mac and Me. That would have been good. You know what? You are right. He didn't play off the Mac thing enough. He's got the whole Mac.
I don't know if legally he could go with the name Mac and Me, but
maybe not. American Injustice: My Battle to Expose the Truth is the new book. An excerpt was given to the New York Post exclusively. They just came out with this moments ago. So we will summarize and add some context and some opinion to it on what he basically says. But his little excerpt here goes into the night that Hunter Biden stumbled into his shop. It was a Friday night.
I'm picturing like it's a dark, rainy night, and he comes in with like a trench coat, and it's like lightning behind him, and he's got the Mac under his coat, and
It's
he
not
just
Psycho.
drops it off. Oh, okay.
You're describing Psycho.
Something like that. That's what. Well, he is kind of psycho. So.
Well, that's basically true. Anyway, he came in just a few minutes before the guy was about to close on a Friday. He had 3 MacBooks with him. He dropped them down on the table. He said, I need to get the data off of these, and they've had some pretty extensive water damage. So the guy, opened up his little software, took his info, is kind of like that's his, like he didn't look at the computers first. He grabbed all his info. And he said it was weird when he asked him for his first and last name, because obviously he had to share that he was Hunter Biden.
Right.
And the guy, what's interesting is the guy recognized him more at the time for being Beau Biden's brother.
That makes sense. Hunter Biden wasn't really anybody until recently.
Yeah. And I think Beau Biden, I believe he had just recently passed, so it was kind of like in the news. He also said that he noticed a Beau Biden sticker on his laptop. How people like to cover like the Apple logo. He said he noticed that on the laptop when he was checking him in. He said it took him a couple minutes, but he basically noticed that he was kind of like slurring his words. And then when he got the laptops and he started working on the laptops, one wouldn't go at all. He said it was pretty badly damaged. And if he can't get the laptop to start, basically he couldn't get it. He couldn't do anything with it. So he just kind of put that one aside. The second one, he said he got it to start, but the keyboard wouldn't work. So he plugged in his own keyboard and was able to do everything that he needed to do. He could work on the thing. And so he said to Hunter, he said, I'm not going to take your money for this. You could basically take your data off of this now. You just need a external keyboard. Do you have one?
That was nice of him.
Nice of him, right? Yeah. And he said that he looked at him. He was pretty puzzled when he was looking at him. So he goes, you don't have a keyboard, an external keyboard. And he was like, I don't know what that is. So he's like, all right, here, take this one. So he lent him his keyboard. Yeah. And then the other one needed a lot more work than that, but it was accessible. It wasn't just a keyboard issue. So he said he had to keep that one. So he did. Hunter left the store, and he said, because it was a Friday night, the guy was single. He was young, he's single at the time. He normally would have just left it and worked on it the next day. But for whatever reason, he decided to get into it then. And when he started to this was the password part. He had to get the password from him for the laptop to get into it initially. And Hunter was embarrassed to tell him what the password is.
Oh God.
You want to take a guess?
I don't know. Let's see. What could it be? Something. It's gotta be gross, I'm sure. Okay.
Check that box. Frank got that one right.
Okay. I'm assuming there's a part of the human anatomy in it. Okay. I'm assuming it's female, the part of the human anatomy. Or could be both. I'm going to say ass, isn't it? There's a butt reference to it. Okay.
You're doing great. Makes me think that you already saw this.
No, I really didn't. I'm doing the when Kramer figured out Bosco.
You doing 20 questions?
I'm kind of, it's all right. So he doesn't seem like a numbers guy. I'll say. I like big butts.
And I cannot lie.
Yeah, something like that.
You other brothers can't deny. No.
Or gigantic asses.
You were wrong about the number. It did involve a number.
Okay.
I'm sure you can you guess what number?
69. What other number could it be?
What other number could it be indeed? Anal fuck 69 was the password. Yep. 100% serious.
Good Lord.
Just what Cuddles had was taking a nap. Just woke her up right from the nap on that.
Which, by the way, are logical impossibilities.
What, anal fuck 69? Well, yeah.
Right? I mean, amongst two people.
I don't know. Remember that porn that listener sent me the other day?
Oh boy,
There was some pretty
Right.
crazy shit there. So
Granted, I guess.
I feel like anything is possible after watching that goddamn thing.
Yeah, they're amazing leaps in porn technology, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
But what kind of an asshole do you have to be
Hunter Biden.
for that? Yeah, you're right. A Hunter Biden ass for that to be your computer. Who wants to type that
Well, who's
in
gonna
every
get
day?
right? Who's gonna guess that?
Well, true, but who wants to type that in every single
No,
day?
that's true.
That's
It's a
somebody
weird
who's got big problems.
It's a weird thing to type in.
Yeah.
You think that just went up in the? You know how like most popular passwords they have like statistics. You think that jumped up a couple of notches?
I think so. You know, Bird had a good guess. Cocaine, 1986. That's what I
That's
would have.
solid.
Yeah, we don't know what the other laptop passwords were. It's possible that was it.
I'm sure drugs. I mean, this one had sex. The other one's gonna have drugs on it.
Yeah.
What else is there?
What else
Rock
is
and
there?
roll.
So anal fuck 69 was his password. So anyway,
Wonderful. Classy.
Hunter stumbles out, and because by the way, he said he was slurring his words the whole time, and in fact, he actually admitted that he was at a bar or a cigar bar. He said, but you know, he was at a cigar bar, and they had told him about the Mac shop, and so he wanted to get there before he wound up closing. And the guy, I think the guy said he closed at like 7 or whatever it was, so he was already shellacked at, before 7 o'clock.
Well, the law gets that, I guess.
Yeah, well, I
don't know what to tell you. You can be shellacked by 7. There's nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Frank
Occasionally.
And I'm not saying that you're a Hunter Biden defender. You're not. But it just feels like, when a boxer, when two boxers have punched, it's the 12th round and they just don't have anything left in them.
I'm just throwing anything at the wall. I really don't care. I mean, Hunter Biden, from all evidence showing, he's a piece of work, piece of crap. So who the hell knows? If all of this stuff that's coming out about him in the laptops and all this stuff is true,
yeah, then
he's not great. He's a bad dude.
DJ brings up a good point. Well, it was nice to be on Facebook for an episode.
I'm not the one who revealed the password.
Let me tell you something. This was like, did you hear Mike Lindell that he got back on Twitter and then he got booted within 3 hours?
What did he say that got him booted in 3 hours?
We're following that same path. You know what? He didn't say anything. He started a new account. And that's against the Twitter rules. You can't do that. If you get banned and then you just start a different account, you'll get banned on that account too. You can't do that.
But he wasn't banned. He came back, right?
No, he decided to come back. That was the thing. Like all those articles and headlines were like, Mike Lindell gets banned after 3 hours of being back on Twitter. But it wasn't like Twitter was like, okay, your ban is lifted. He just decided, I'm just going to start a different Twitter account.
Oh, like nobody started that before.
Right. And then he obviously, once it started gaining huge traction, it got banned. Like nobody, in the sphere of Twitter, nobody starts to gain tens of thousands of followers within a few hours unless you're a mega star. So that's obviously going to blip on their radar.
Not only that,
it was him.
It's Mike Lindell. He's not. What is he going to do? Hey guys, this is not Mike Lindell, but this is like Mindell, and I've got new information on. Come on, how long do you think that was going to work?
Fucking like Mindell sounds. I'd love to get him on the program. And
like Mindell,
yeah. Like
he has
Mindell
no mustache
like...
though, just a beard. And he doesn't make pillows; he makes comforters.
Yeah, see, sounds like an interesting guy already that we would have fun with.
My Comfort, it's called.
So he knew what he was doing. He was just grabbing some headlines because everybody knows you can't do that. Like
no, you can't.
Everybody knows you can't do that.
All right, so back to pieces of shit. What do we got here?
But we're pulling up Mike Lindell. So anyway,
all right. So we got the password.
Yeah,
and then.
So then he says in this book, and again, the book is going to be on sale soon. American Injustice: My Battle to Expose the Truth. John Paul Isaac. He says basically then he started going through everything and he noticed, this is creepy. He noticed that there was like a couple of like pornographic pictures, like Hunter in his undies and the red scarf, that famous shot. And he says, like, in the book, he goes, that's pretty common in my line of work, which just made me feel gross. Like, everybody comes in with a laptop or a computer issue, and then these people got to go through and see their friggin'
That's got to be a weird job.
Yeah. But he was saying, though, he was like, for this amount of porn to be like right on your desktop was strange.
Well, if your password is what it was, you can't be too shocked.
Where are you going to go from there? Yeah, good point.
It's not going to be. It's going to be all orchestral music and videos of symphonies, and it's going to be
right.
Yeah, it's going to be a Wizard of Oz, and that's it. That's all that's on his computer.
Yeah, but it is true though. Again, just kind of paints the picture of what kind of a shithead you're dealing with. There's a difference between you've got porn on your computer and you've got pornography on your desktop. Like, it takes a special brand of weirdo to not hide that shit.
I mean, you turn it up, you turn the screen on, it's just like blam, blam. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, basically.
That's a little weird.
And that's literally what happened to him. It did pop up because he said that it was already like in the middle of they already tried to recover the data, so that when he powered it back on and got it rolling again, like that data recovery kind of started coming, and it was literally popping up again. So that's kind of exactly what he had porn popping in his face. It's basically, exactly what happened.
That's what she said.
That's exactly what she said. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, not great. Not great at all.
No.
But yeah, the password only adds to the creepy grossness of it all.
Yeah. Now, my thing is, because this is what I can't get past, and we talked about this at the time, that Rudy Giuliani said he had the laptop, and he talked all about it, and he like teased the release of the information. Right. Why did he do that? Like, if I don't think that I don't know what happened, but if he had what we all have now and what we're all seeing now, what the New York Times eventually published, and granted, I'm not saying that the New York Times didn't drag their feet intentionally, because they did, and so did a lot of other outlets. And the New York Post, especially, who has this particular exclusive, they have all the right in the world to be pissed that Twitter and everybody else suppressed their story prior to the election. It's all valid points. But if Rudy Giuliani really had the info, why didn't he just put it out? There had to be a reason why. Do you remember we talked about him?
I don't think he had it.
He was on that show. Remember? He did a whole interview. We talked about it. We might have even played clips from it. And the guy was like, you have this stuff. He's like, oh, we have it. And he's like, can you give it to us? And he was like, no, we're going to release it. He's like, we're going to come out with it. And he was just saying all this stuff.
Yeah, because there's also, he has to do political strategy with it. It's not for the good of the country. It's for the good of their campaign.
Agreed. But you have to admit he blew the strategy because
he's a lunatic.
Well, yeah, there's part of it. But that was how many weeks before the campaign, and you have months and months and months of headlines here. You could have put this out anywhere. You could have went to all the outlets. Fox News would have ran with this. Newsmax, OAN, all of them would have went crazy on this. You could have had it everywhere.
Either he didn't have it, and he was bluffing in some way, or I don't know. He was doing some weird strategy with it, or whatever the hell. I'm not really sure, but I think he was maybe hoping to tie it to maybe other shit that he was trying to get dirt on. I don't know how much more dirt he needed, but it's a weird thing. And not to mention, the timing of it is just, it's bizarre. Why would they drag their feet on it? You got something like this. Here it is, America.
You could just see what it's doing now and how powerful it is.
Yep.
And nothing. They just bumbled the whole thing. I don't understand it. And I know people are going to be like, well, he tried to get it out and nobody wanted to hear it.
Bullshit.
I disagree with that. And I think to a certain extent, there was a fair amount of time, again, with the 51 experts that said it was Russian disinformation, which we now know is a lie. But even again, fog of war, right? So you're in the middle of it. You're a news outlet. You've got to confirm all of this information. It's going to take you a while to do that. But still, he could have, that's my point. Like, he could have given it to them with plenty of time for them to all go out and do their due diligence.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it could be stupidity. It could be not laziness, I'm sure, but it could be stupidity. It could be some weird strategy that they were trying, or maybe it's some, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to come up with something. I don't know. Yeah, like Gary is saying, fake it till you make it even works with propaganda.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have it, and they were trying to, just hype it up.
I don't think he had it, or I think maybe he had a little bit of it.
Maybe.
And
maybe this John Paul George Ringo guy was saying, "Oh, I'll give you a little bit of it," and then when maybe he was holding it for payment or something.
Well, that's the thing. Even this guy, like, okay, so again, if I'm Rudy Giuliani, instead of worrying about taking my pants off to the girl in the Borat movie, I would just say to this guy, put it out. It's your laptop. It's in your possession. According to your rules, it's sat. By the way, the guy sat on it for over a year.
He had it. Wait, so the repair guy, he had the laptop for over a year. Hunter Biden never came by and said, "Is it done? Can I have it back?"
He never came back to get it because he was blitzed out of his mind.
Probably doesn't even remember where he took it, or if whatever.
Exactly. Did not remember where he took it. Didn't remember. Like a guy who like a dude back in the 90s who sneaks around with his porn videos and then fucking leaves it in the VCR, forgets to take it out before his wife comes home.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was looking. I was trying to read up on it a little bit, and that's the big problem with why it's not this huge headline grabbing thing, is that people don't trust the chain of custody with this laptop. It was out of Hunter's possession for what, a year? It was in this guy's possession.
Sat in his shop for a year. Yeah, because that was his thing. He left it there for him to come get it, and then after a while, you surrender it.
Yeah, so people are saying, "Oh, he didn't have it for a year. God knows what could have happened in that year. What could be put on it? What could be taken? I don't know." So that's why people are skeptical.
I mean, but it's all his photos
it's all
and everything else.
Probably,
so, yeah.
So it's weird, yeah, and not good. So I don't know why this isn't something that isn't. I think investigate everything. Investigate him. Investigate Matt Gaetz. Investigate everybody who needs to be investigated. I don't know why there isn't an impartial investigatory branch.
It's in the DOJ right now, and they're dragging their feet. I'm surprised Congress isn't picking it up. But I'm sure that once the midterms come, I'm waiting for J Sebs to come back. She popped on a second ago. Now she's gone. But
charge your phone.
Once Congress swaps and it goes back to the Republican side of things, they're saying basically we're going to get that.
If that happens, this Roe v. Wade thing might kibosh that.
Yeah, I wonder about the Roe v. Wade thing for sure.
So.
All right, so that's the latest with the Hunter Biden. Again, plug the book. It's a fair thing to do. The guy gave us a little thing today. Oh, we also talked about he did peek in his financial statements because there was a PDF called Income, and so he took a peek into that. Do you want to hear these things?
Sure.
In an email from January 16th, 2017, saved as a PDF. At the top were the years 2013, 14, and 15. Next to each year was the amount of taxable income he earned. In 2013, $833,000, $847,000, which was amended to $1.24 million in 2014 and $2.4 million in 2015. He said he was blown away that all that money, and this asshole couldn't spring for a backup drive on his laptop.
I don't even think he knew. The guy, he didn't know what an external keyboard was.
Yeah, true.
So he's going to go looking for backup drives. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No idea. So there you go. American Injustice is coming out on November. Coming out in November, I should say, from the publisher Liberatio Protocol.
That sounds like fellatio.
It does.
Fellatio Protocol, which is probably the perfect book for this to come out. For
I guess
publishing company.
I guess Penguin or any of those reputable ones.
Yeah,
didn't want to do it. I'm not entirely sure. All right. Again, if you enjoy this content, make sure you guys become a member of the podcast. Right now, you can join for as low as $2.99 a month. If we need your support, we just spent 3 weeks on the bench for Facebook, getting banned for talking about these things.
For something. We don't know what.
Still don't know what it was. We've been shadow banned. So a lot of our, a lot of the ads that YouTube and Facebook put up against the show have been minimalized. So that's why we're looking for members. So if you enjoy the honest content and all the, what do they call that?
Filtered?
Uncensored, no filter, all that stuff that people say.
Right. Whatever.
If you like that kind of thing, make sure you support us. Join right now. Link in the description below. On YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, go to anthonyonair.com. You'll see a chance to click, and you guys can become members for as low as $2.99. What up, J Sabs?
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
loud and clear.
It wasn't working for some reason.
Now you sound like $1 million, and you're here just in time for the Amber Heard portion of the show.
Oh, this is all I was coming for. That's what she said.
Boom.
First of all, what you sent today, that was I was gonna say, oh my God, I wish I was Jenny McCarthy. First of all, wish I could look like Jenny McCarthy. Second of all, 1,000% me. Yesterday, that was 1,000% me.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Jenny McCarthy sent out a TikTok, and I put it in the group chat, which includes Frank. He doesn't read my tweets anymore.
You put like 10 TikToks in a row. I got to look through all of them. I'm somewhat busy.
Listen to me. I am quite possibly the greatest curator of TikToks this generation has ever seen.
Yeah, but you're the worst sharer of TikToks.
That's what a curator is.
No, it's not. You just organize.
I put together a collection of TikToks for my friends that's unbelievable, and my oldest friend doesn't give a shit. And Janine, I'm not diminishing your skills. You're very good, but I gotta say
but you have good ones too.
Thank you. I appreciate
you
it.
do.
And I nailed that one because I saw the Jenny McCarthy one where she's watching the thing on her phone in the kitchen, and she's doing the laundry. She's like folding the laundry. She's like in her car in the garage watching it. Like she can't put it down for the entire day. It was a really cute TikTok.
Kind of embarrassing, but I took the kids to the playground yesterday, and I was listening to it there.
What happened? We still don't know what happened in this thing. Jenny McCarthy did what now?
I just told you what happened.
I was reading the comments. I'm not listening.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm not repeating it. Forget it.
Repeat it.
Maybe somebody in the comments will tell you what
Jenny McCarthy did what?
She was just watching the trial all day long. It was just clips of her watching the trial.
So what's the big deal? Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that a big deal?
All right, now all right, before we get into Amber Heard, we had I got to see something I rarely get to see, which is Frank pick his coat rack prop.
Oh.
And now Aussie Annie has generously given us a super chat, $2.99, asking us what that is.
Thank you, Aussie Annie. Not necessary. I would have told you anyway. It is those things when you put out like when you have a barbecue and you put that like netting over the food.
Oh yeah.
It's called a food canopy. It's got the wicker basket underneath and the canopy unfolded on top.
That's funny. That's what we call you behind your back. The other
food canopy.
Yeah.
That's what we call your asshole.
That's a good one.
I believe what Fruit Canopy said today. It's unbelievable.
Food canopy, not fruit canopy.
Not fruit canopy.
I said fruit canopy.
It's food.
Oh, food. I thought you said fruit
canopy. Oh my
canopy.
God, this is like who's on
food
first?
Canopy. Food.
That just reminded me of like all my 1980s family reunions.
Right? With all the things over it?
Yeah. Because for some reason, why there's family reunions in a park on like July 30th, the hottest fucking days of the year. They're gonna just traipse fruit salad and potato salad. Just leave that out for 17 hours in the middle of the boiling sun.
Ugh.
Yeah.
How you enjoying whatever you're drinking there?
Yeah. What does he got there? A mule?
That looks like something from Harry Potter.
It's actually like the last part of the margarita bottle that we bought yesterday.
Booze.
I wish I had more.
You enjoying the to-go cocktails now legal in New York?
I've been enjoying them.
Any chance you could back off the mic when you drink? Just a smidge. And when you do this, because I'm about to reach through the microphone.
Wait.
And strangle my own image.
Here's my problem with that. I need a straw because I don't like drinking. There's too much ice in this cup.
Then for the love of God.
Oh, he's going to get mad. You heard me say that? You heard me do that?
You prefer sucking to sipping?
Yes.
Amber Heard, day 3 of her. Well, we'll go back a little bit to day 2, but her testimony continues. We'll share everything. But here's what I realized: that they're making a movie right now.
Who is?
Like these two, because everything that happened, everything that they're talking about, one of these people is lying. I don't know who, but one of them is lying. But it doesn't everybody feels like she
give you a guess.
But it doesn't even matter, because all you have to do to make the next great movie, like the next Pulp Fiction, is just take all of their stories.
Yes.
And put it together and put it out as a movie. Because
I bet there'll be a like Tommy and Pam and Tommy. There'll be a Johnny and Amber story.
Like a limited series on Hulu or something like that.
I bet there will be.
There has to be, because you just like every day it's more insane, crazy after the next. So yesterday, the story was he broke a bunch of liquor bottles, like hurled liquor bottles at her, and then picked up one of the liquor bottles, like the top, and then put it in the old Holland Tunnel, and like threatened her life with it, and like insane behavior, if true. Yeah. Nobody, by the way, is believing her, but that's what she said happened. And she said she was like worried. She was concerned because she didn't know if it was a broken one. She didn't want to move, and it's unreal to me. I don't know if she's telling the truth. It feels like she's not. Nobody believes her. But this guy is on, like, she's basically describing every single Coke rage anybody has ever been on. He's admitted to having a Coke problem. And still everybody's like, can you believe this lying bitch?
He might be all coked up 9 times out of 10, but he's not doing Coke stuff.
What do you think, Jay Sabs? Did you see the bottle top testimony?
So, no, I'm waiting. What did I have to do yesterday in the afternoon that the last hour I missed? So I still got about a half an hour left, and I think that's the part I actually missed.
Okay. All right. So today she testified that they were fighting about something, and then he was telling her on the phone that it drove him so crazy he put a cigarette out on his own face. And there's like photos of like him with like a burn mark on his face.
And they still don't believe it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they think that maybe she did it. I don't even know.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think there's anybody in the world besides maybe her family and her lawyers that's on her side?
I really don't think so. I mean, like, watching her yesterday, it was weird when she was talking, because she was like, and I said to him, Johnny, did you just slap me? Did you just slap me, Johnny? And I'm like, what? And then so I really wanted to listen, because honestly, I wanted to know every detail of their relationship and how they got together and how long they were together. And like, I was interested in how they actually got together, which she said on Wednesday, but yesterday, she just went through. I mean, it's a lot. Do I believe all of it? No, I don't.
Now, I saw, and I was wondering if you could fill this in, Jason.
That's what she said.
Maybe somebody else in the comments can. I saw the testimony where she talked about they got married. They had just been married, and then they went to Australia. I guess he wanted to go to Australia, and something must have happened because the part that I saw, they had just come back from Australia where something bad happened, and he was texting with somebody, an ex, somebody that he was banging, that she found out and knew that he had a sexual relationship with. And he immediately was texting her and supposedly immediately went to go visit her.
In Australia.
They got back to Los Angeles from Australia.
Well, she said that he would disappear a lot and then like disappear in the middle of the night and then come home like whenever he wanted, basically. But did you see the part where first she showed videos of him, pictures of him just like slumped over?
All passed out everywhere.
Yeah.
And then also the audio of him just going, eh.
Yeah, that's how you act when you're all drugged up. I don't know about. I mean, I'm sure you could act the other way too, all crazy and.
Well,
insane.
yeah, you definitely can.
I guess both. Yeah, both are true. Could be true.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't really believe her. Could I think that some of those things were true? Yes, but not to an extent, not to where she said her biggest thing was that he used to just slap her across the face and not hurt her. Like Johnny, did you just do that, Johnny? It didn't hurt. I just felt embarrassed. And I'm like, okay.
That's just bad writing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was good though.
Did you see DJ Shenanigan points out something? Did you see the latest clip when she's coming out of the witness off the witness stand and Johnny Depp is walking kind of towards the witness stand and she kind of backs away? Now, I only watched it once, but it looked like she was just, because it was a small area to get through, maybe she was just backing away just to get out of the way.
Right.
I thought. Just seeing it once.
I thought she got startled. She did like a little like stutter step. I don't know if it was genuine.
Mm-hmm.
But she did, and I don't know if he didn't realize or what. But the guard, like, did you see the guard, the court? What do they call them people?
Bailiff.
The bailiff, like, literally put his hand out to stop him from walking, to stop him from keeping on, and then he walked away.
She had to clear the area, and then he would go in. I don't think there was. Again, just seeing it once, I think she thought he was coming toward her, and so she got out of the way to let him pass, maybe. And it didn't look like. Again, I just saw it once. It didn't look like she was scared. I just thought she was like, "Oh, okay, let me move out of the way." I think people. I don't believe what she's saying about everything, but this to me seems like we're making a little much out of a little movement. I don't think she was. I could be wrong. Maybe she is, but I thought that was just her getting out of the way,
or trying to overplay it.
I think she got startled, and maybe she oversold it a little bit.
All right, maybe
that's what it looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Perhaps.
DJ thinks the same thing. Go ahead.
Here's one thing I didn't like. This is also part why I don't believe her. When she was talking about Johnny Depp and how she was like, yeah, I knew of him really, but she said I didn't really follow his stuff. And I'm like,
bull.
What are you kidding me? Because in a previous interview that I found, she said something about, isn't it every little girl's dream to be with Johnny Depp or something along those lines? And I'm
apparently, yeah, that's what I've learned in the last couple of weeks.
Did you send it to the court?
All right.
Hey guys, you might want to look at this.
I'm sure they're going to show that video.
Hopefully.
All right, you both bring up go ahead.
What?
And just another point to that. When she was talking about like going on the press tour and whatever other thing, she spoke about, well, I was with Johnny Depp, like one of the biggest stars, and I'm like, you can't say you didn't know who he was, okay, or that you didn't follow his stuff. Stop it.
Everybody
right
knows
now.
who Johnny Depp is, and he's been
especially an actress.
If I was like one of the jurors, I would have been like,
yeah.
I don't
not
see
say
that
anything,
being
but
true.
just been like, come on, really?
Unless you just didn't see his movies, but you got to know who he is, even if you didn't see his movies.
What I was going to say before was you bring up a good point where every female on the internet now is discovering something and talking about sending it to the lawyers. Ever since the MAC makeup girl found that thing, now everybody's like, have you sent this to the lawyers? Like every time somebody discovers something, I got two I'm going to share with you guys now. And all the comments underneath them were like, you should send it to the lawyers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like we know how to do that. How do we send it to the lawyers?
And credit Carolyn on Twitter, who has just been sending me stuff nonstop, which I do appreciate on this case. But here's one thing. So again, this is Twitter objection, Twitter hearsay. This isn't like real reporting, but this is what people are saying on Twitter. So take it for what it's worth. This Micah on Twitter yesterday tweeted that they compiled a list of all the references listening to Amber Heard's testimony, and they've basically noticed that every time she tells a story, it's kind of straight out of a movie. So all these stories that Amber Heard is saying, at least these people seem to think they're little bits and pieces from movies.
Oh, really?
And the movies,
not her movies, just random movies. I mean, I feel like
random movies, and also books. Like the first one was Disco Bloodbath, a book by James St. James. That sounds like a porn star to me.
That does.
The Talented Mr. Ripley,
Ooh.
which I know that's about a stalker, right? Wasn't he like a stalker in that, Damon?
I don't remember that one.
Love that movie.
Reservoir Dogs, Mildred Pierce, even Notting Hill. Now I would have found that.
Oh, really?
Because I'm a Notting Hill expert, so I'd love to see the clip.
I'd love to know what you got from Reservoir Dogs. Like, did he threaten to cut her ear off or something?
Possibly. I don't know.
Anyway.
Even White Chicks, the Wayans film.
I mean, you get
another cinematic masterpiece, by the way.
Domestic violence, domestic abuse. There's movies about a lot of that. That's
you're
gonna find people throwing bottles. In all kinds of movies. I don't know if unless it's like specific dialogue or something. But if it's like Johnny Depp threw a bottle at me, that they made a movie with that in it. It's like, yeah, of course they did. That's like there's because she adds a lot of detail to her testimony, so there's
just certain things that I'm sure are in a movie that she did a copy from.
That's possible.
Yeah,
that is possible.
All right, so another one though. This one's a little bit more compelling. Amber Heard's ex-assistant is coming out and saying that she told Amber Heard a story that had happened to her regarding sexual violence, and then Amber Heard told the story on the stand, testifying that it was her.
Wow.
See?
Yeah.
That's cray-cray.
That's Kate James, her ex-assistant, is basically saying that.
So she used her ex-assistant's story as her own and just made it her and Johnny Depp.
That's what they're saying on the Twitter webs. Yeah, that's what's going around.
Call her to the stand. If she's coming out with that, if she's openly talking about it. Is that what's happening? She came forward and said that?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, this got tweeted out by a bunch of people. It's kind of going around. It's a shot of Kate James, and she's saying, I'll read you the quote. To my utter shock and dismay, I discovered that Miss Heard had, in fact, stolen my sexual violence conversation I had with her, twisted it into her own story to benefit herself. This, of course, caused me extreme distress and outrage that she would dare to attempt to use my most harrowing experience of my life as her own narrative.
Wow.
I mean, even judging by that language there, you can tell she's readying a lawsuit against Amber Heard.
Go for it.
Is Amber the last witness on her side?
That's a great question. I don't know, but I did get the impression that they're taking a break.
Yeah, they are for a week.
Next week. Yeah. What are we going to do?
What am I going to do?
You got to rewatch. Look for hidden messages and things in the testimony.
So
yeah, that's true.
My question is, after she's done, then his lawyers get to go and question her.
Right.
I believe so. Yeah.
Here's what I don't like about this part. And I'll tell you why. I feel like his lawyers, and I mean this in any case, really, should be able to interject and ask their own questions at the same time. I don't think that one side should go and then the other side because there's so much testimony from her.
Yeah, but then you get to how many times can they butt in? When do they stop talking?
They do it all the time.
Yeah,
anyway.
To object. But if I'm asking you questions and Anthony keeps jumping in, I got to ask a question. It's going to be like, how am I going to get any of my points across? Because if I have a case I'm trying to make, someone butting in is not going to help my case. It's just going to...
that's how you know
anything across.
That's how you know someone's a liar because,
it's going to just be... It would be a confusing mess both times, like when each set of lawyers is up there. Because they're just going to keep interrupting each other, and so you're not going to get a clear story of anything.
It's true, though, because it's hard for the jury now to remember what happened 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
As they're cross-examining her now to prove what she said was bullshit.
Right. Unless they say, write notes. When you were questioned, blah, 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 you said this.
Objection, leading the witness. Sorry.
I think the jury should be able to object. I think anybody involved in the case, the judge, obviously he could say what he wants to, they could do what they want, but the jury should be like, hang on a sec, didn't you say this or that?
The problem is with that, right? A lot of times, just because I was a jury, twice.
Not bragging.
For pretty big cases. When there was a lot of testimony, you tend to not remember it. And when you have to go and deliberate, right? Am I using the right word? Yes.
You got it.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's like, wait, what did she say? Wait, what did he say? Because now I don't remember. Wait, are you sure? We have to go back and ask the lawyer a question now.
Were you able to take notes?
Oh, I didn't. Nobody did. Nobody did.
Nobody took notes.
Nobody took notes. Because I remember there was one question that we had to go and ask the lawyer. We had to write our question down and then give it to the lawyers. And then we had to wait for them to give us the answer because we couldn't decide then.
Another reason for professional jurors. No offense.
Oh, whoa.
No, I'm just saying.
My mind was already made up.
See? Exactly. Your mind was made up. No, there should be, again, professional jurors would have to go through rigorous tests, remembering testimony, all this, testing how focused they could be, and would they be able to bring up facts from the case later on. I think, because if you're just like if you're a professional anything, you're just way better at it than anybody else.
Right, but the problem is it's going to be all women because men don't remember shit. So
whatever, whoever's good at it, doesn't matter.
I remember everything, as you know. I remember everything. That's so, but I'm just saying, in general.
Okay, hold on a second, Amber Heard. You just said 2 seconds ago you couldn't remember what they said in the thing.
I don't remember that.
Objection.
But that was also a very long time ago.
True. All right. That's true.
But I'm just saying it's a lot to if there's a lot of testimony, it's a lot to remember. Even if you're a professional, it's still a lot to remember.
Well, a professional would sit there with a notepad, write everything down. Maybe there's I don't know.
The lawyers take notes.
Yeah, but I feel if there's 12 people sitting there taking notes, and they do this for a living, and they train, with memory tests and do all kinds of stuff like that, I feel like that's a better person to have in a jury box.
I'm with Janine, though. I understand Frank. I understand. He's right when he says that's because you're presenting your own case. But for the jurors' benefit, I think it would be better if it went one right after the other. Which, by the way, maybe it is because that's kind of the way it goes. Like one side goes and the other side goes. It's just a lot when it's going to take 3 friggin' days of testimony. You know, if it's going to be that long, you should be able to like break it up a little bit and have the other side cross-examine just a bit sooner.
Well,
I get it, but it's just I'm just saying like a lot of people are like, oh, I forgot, so now I have to.
Well, it happens with every witness, right? I mean, you have a witness up there. One side goes, then the other side goes. Then they bring the next witness. It's not like they do all the witnesses for one side and then all the witnesses for the other, right? It's one after the other. Each side gets like prosecution, then defense, then prosecution, then defense.
It's one after the other, right? Every time.
Well, if I call witness A, I get to examine them, and then the other side gets to cross-examine.
Right after.
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying with long testimonies like this one.
Right.
Yeah, if it's days, sure, it's gonna get, stuff gets lost.
Funny thing about Johnny, my friend Johnny, she was talking about taking his daughter to lunch or dinner, talking about him, and you see his face, and he writes on a piece of paper, LIE with 2 exclamation points, and everyone's like, you could see it on TikTok. They showed it. And he hands it to his lawyer, and his lawyer like kind of laughs. It's like, yeah, no. Oh, wait. This is another one too. Speaking of stuff from movies, she said she was talking about his cocaine, and he kept it in a big pot. Something about a pot. And let me know in the comments if anyone saw this part or not. And turns out she used the same phrase as he used in Pirates of the Caribbean.
For real?
What phrase?
Something about a jar, a pot. I forgot. A big red jar, a big red pot, something like that.
I've got a jar of dirt.
Oh, yes. That's it.
It's the only thing I could think of from Pirates that he's talking about a jar.
Oh, I think that was it.
I've got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt.
And they cut to his face, and he was a jar. And it was really funny. But yeah, I see, because this is all that comes up on my TikTok now. That's it.
It's crazy.
Used to be 3 ways. Now it's this.
There's something.
There we go.
Hey, congealing.
There it is. Wait. Is this what you...
And guess what's inside it?
Hang on.
Got it. Come to negotiate, eh? Have you slimy git? Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
That's Johnny Depp.
That's Johnny Depp from Pirates.
Got it.
Is that what she said? I got a jar of dirt?
Yeah, or a box of dirt. I forgot. Exactly.
That's
and then
weird.
the comments are saying, yes, she did say that.
That's weird.
That's why, yeah. So and he kind of just was like, what? Like he repeated it because he couldn't believe that she said that.
There's an insane movie in this. Just film what they said in the testimony, and you have an utterly crazy movie.
What do you film? Because if she's lying and none of it happened,
doesn't matter.
You're telling a story.
Doesn't
story
matter.
That didn't happen.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Doesn't matter. I want to see the scenes where they're describing. But again, I'm not for nothing, not to be an asshole here, but she did show all those photos of this fucking junkie on the floor, passed out, and nobody seems to give a shit.
Everybody's like, yeah, that's what happens when you're on drugs.
Yeah, exactly. It's Johnny. That's what they said. It's Johnny.
Classic Johnny.
Right.
But
or
a lot of his
go ahead.
A lot of his testimony is him saying that he was cleaning himself up, that he was getting over it and taking meds and becoming sober and stuff like that. So I guess that kind of made the whole situation sympathetic. So when she showed him passed out, they're like, oh man, that must have been rough trying to get over that, that addiction. That's hard. So everybody's kind of sympathetic already because Johnny was like, yeah, I was trying to get clean,
But think about being in this relationship realistically, like trying, like it's there should be like, you go to fantasy camp and you play baseball with the old Yankees. There should be some sort of virtual reality experience to what it feels like.
Yes, there definitely should be.
To be.
Oh boy.
I'm sure
Oh
You
my
want
God.
you want a real
forget it.
reality.
I already got a video game in mind.
Oh boy.
It's called Bleeping Johnny Depp.
Jacking Sparrow.
Oh God. And you know what? This makes me want to rewatch all those movies. I don't know why.
How often can you Jack Sparrow?
I wonder if he's cleaning up on Netflix and all the. I wonder if everybody's rewatching his movies because of this.
Yeah.
But think about it. Again, from their testimony, it seems like every day was an insane coke-filled bipolar adventure. In fact, that should be the name of the movie: an insane coke-filled bipolar adventure. Yeah.
Who's playing Johnny Depp?
I don't know.
Fine. I'll do it. Jeez.
I say Andrew Garfield, not to hurt your feelings.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it feels like they're putting him in everything.
That'll work.
Oh, I love him too.
Yeah. He's in a new.
Go ahead.
He's in a new show now or something. Some bullshit on Hulu.
Mhm.
And I saw an article the other day where it's like Andrew Garfield's going to take a break from acting. I'm like, man, this fucking kid is good, because that's where you want to be. Once they start putting you in fucking everything, you go, I need to take a break from myself. That's what every big actor does.
Oh, when you're up here?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta hold on while I'm at my peak.
Yeah.
Because you want to ride that peak right out, you know, as long as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I like too? Just because, I'm always into the celeb stuff. I love when they talk about celebs. Like she was talking about James Franco. She's like, yeah, James Franco, because apparently Johnny Depp did not like James Franco.
Who does?
I like
because
him.
he double teamed Amber Heard with Elon Musk. That's why. I know it's not the rumor, but I'm making it the rumor.
That's a good starting rumor.
Yeah. At me, John Franco. Who gives a shit? Or James Franco, whatever the fuck your name is.
They drop names like Marilyn Manson and the other guy.
Another piece of shit.
I don't know. I just like that. So we'll see who else she talks about.
And to circle back on our other thing, there is an insane amount of objections in this.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact the other day, didn't somebody he objected to his own question, which was hilarious. I forget which lawyer
that was hilarious. That was great.
But there was an instance today where she was saying what she told somebody else, and they were like, objection, hearsay. And it was like, I thought it's hearsay if they say so-and-so told me, not I told so-and-so. How is that hearsay? They're saying what they said.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw that.
That didn't make any sense.
No.
And then there was a point where they were like, did you go to the airport bathroom or some weird? It was a weird question. They were like, objection, relevance, and the lawyer was like, I'm getting to the point. You gotta let me ask a couple of questions here. Like they are just like insane with the objections.
No,
I don't get it. Not to go back a minute, but J Sabs, I don't know why you chose to drink out of a cowbell.
You can hear this too.
It's a literal cowbell.
It's pretty loud.
That doesn't sound like a cowbell to you? All right.
No.
All right.
Wait, but that's a margarita, not a mule.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you drinking it out of a mule cup?
So it stays cold, my friend.
Does it stay colder in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we got a lot of other exciting topics to get to.
I don't know.
A lot of them.
Oh God.
Britney Spears nudie preggers doggy pictures. You didn't even see these, J Sabs?
Is she preggers or is the dog preggers?
Well, you have to stay tuned to find out, Frankie C.
Okay.
But first, Jumpstart Coffee Company, proud sponsor of our episode. Now, here's the thing, too. This comes with a story as well.
Oh boy,
That's
buckle
what
up.
she said.
Because Nespresso.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Has a cocaine problem.
Like Johnny.
Cocaine problem or a cocaine opportunity?
Nespresso is the Johnny Depp of coffee companies.
Oh boy.
Because they had over 500 kilograms of cocaine found in their coffee delivery.
Who decided to randomly test Nespresso for cocaine?
I don't know. But in the Nespresso factory in where was this? Switzerland? There was an undefined white substance
20%. Good.
found while they were unloading their 20% of cocaine or 20% of your phone?
20% of my phone. I don't know what happened either.
Got it.
Also, Nespresso.
Anyway, they found this shit. It turned out to be over 500 kilograms of coke.
Well, it probably wasn't mixed into the coffee. It was probably packed with the coffee, because that's how, and I'm basing this on 80s movies, that's how they shipped cocaine, packed it in with coffee, so that it throws off the dogs. The dogs can sniff.
Yeah.
The
and
dogs
then
can sniff
the guy
out
who
cocaine.
found it licked his pinky, stuck it in, and brushed his teeth with it.
Yep, cocaine.
Yeah.
Or stuck a knife in the bag, pulled out yep, cocaine.
I'll never forget the first time I saw a real cop go. By the way, nobody does that. I don't know why that's in every movie, but like no cop really does that bullshit. Or they taste it, or they put it on there. They don't do that shit.
Punctures a bag of coke and leaks out everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know about your cop friends, but my cop friends do that.
Oh, also, did you see this thing too? I'm sorry to go back, but they're saying that Amber Heard took a bump of coke in her napkin.
I did see that. Yep.
I don't think she did.
No.
I watched that 1,000 times.
I think she was just digging a bat out of the cave.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't think she was doing that. It was just weird how she wiped her nose. But you would have heard a sniff up if she was doing coke. There was no sniff up.
I think she went up there and was up there for a second because she was getting. She was legit or not. She had tears and crying or whatever, and mucus, I'm sure.
Anyway, the point of all this is Jumpstart Coffee Company gives 50% of their profits to the Navy SEAL Foundation.
That's what we're getting to.
Other coffee companies smuggle drugs. Okay, like I mean, is that fair to say? You got one coffee company smoggling drugs. The
At
other
least one
is helping out not only the Navy SEALs but the veterans and the Navy SEAL Foundation. That
almost
just goes to show you.
I'm almost guaranteeing that there's no cocaine in here.
Yeah, no, there's no
drug
cocaine
dealers, Navy SEAls. I mean,
who do you want to help, right?
That's what we're saying here.
It's up to you.
Excellent point. They the wonderful people over at Jumpstart Coffee Company, they can't get any better than this. Save 15% when you order right now. Link in the description below, or you could order with the link on the homepage of anthonyonair.com. Make sure you put in that promo code AOA15. When you order a bag, you're helping support this podcast, Jumpstart Coffee Company, the Navy SEAL Foundation, and cocaine addicts around the world, apparently, because you won't have a chance of them accidentally getting some coke in their coffee.
Sure.
And by the way,
accidentally.
Yeah. If you're going to put coke in your coffee, that's not fine, but at least tell people. Like, hey, there might be some coke in it. Like, when you get those, you open up a package or something and like, oh, this was made in the same plant of peanuts. So there might be some peanut dust on here that might kill you. I feel like Nespresso should have to put that on there.
We make Coke right next door to the coffee place.
Right.
If you're allergic to Coke, maybe,
be warned.
Be warned. Yeah, you could have some little Coke in there. You think anybody's allergic to Coke?
Yeah. I think so.
Cool.
I'm sure they have to be, right?
It's got to be rare, though.
It's called disclosure, you dickhead.
Basically, everybody who OD'd of Coke.
I mean, if that's not your wife, I don't know.
All right. Anyway, thanks to Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Yes, thank you, Jumpstart.
Oh, let's do this quickly here. Prince Andrew banned from going to Buckingham Palace.
You bucking banned.
Bucking banned. We were just banned from Facebook though, so I can't say I feel for Andrew, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, you get what he's going through.
Yeah,
I think it's slightly different, but sure.
Well, sans all the child pornography.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe.
But he will not be at Buckingham Palace for the Queen's Jubilee. There's like a big balcony thing that they're doing.
Right.
Also, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, obviously they're not coming, but they weren't asked to not come.
Well, they, when you say I don't want to be a royal anymore, you don't get to do the royal things.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, but either way, Prince Andrew not allowed to come, so that little embarrassing.
That's what she said.
Yeah. All right. Where do you want to go from here? We got the Florida math textbooks. We've got the Johnson & Johnson vax. Britney
Johnson vax.
Jesus.
Okay. Will Smith. All right, we'll go from there. I also want J-Sabs you to do the Ireland Baldwin story because that's a J-Sabs story if I've ever seen one. Johnson & Johnson FDA restricts the J&J COVID-19 vaccine due to blood clot risks.
Ooh.
There you go.
Go ahead, J-Sabs. This is the day. Here you go. We'll give you the floor. You've got it. Turn it sideways and put it in slow.
Yikes.
She's been waiting for this moment for 2 years.
That is definitely what she said. No, I mean, I feel bad for the people who got it. Like my parents got this one.
We all knew going in it was the worst one.
I mean, so that's my thing. Like, why give it out if you know it's not going to be great? It's just competition.
Johnson and Johnson.
No, this was done from the get, and we all knew it. We all made jokes. As soon as they were like, "Oh, guess what, everybody? Your 2 vaccine thing is okay, but ours is in 1 shot." We should have known then and there. This is just bullshit. How could it be?
So, they're not giving it to anyone, or is it they're just limiting who they actually give it to?
They said the shot should only be given to adults who cannot receive a different vaccine or specifically request J&J's vaccine.
Okay. So I could technically get it if I wanted to.
I guess so.
You could if you asked for that one.
But there's an ongoing risk of rare but serious blood clots.
Correct.
There you go.
Which I'm already at risk for, so.
Yeah. FDA officials said in a statement that they decided to restrict J&J's vaccine after taking another look at the data on the risk of life-threatening blood clots within 2 weeks of vaccination.
Oh, they never approved J&J, right?
Oh no, I think that they did.
No, they only approved. What was it? Pfizer.
Pfizer was the first one to get approved. I don't know if they wound up doing all of them eventually.
Yeah, I thought that was the only one that was approved.
If I had a computer right now, I'm gonna
look it up.
Federal scientists identified 60 cases, including 9 that were fatal as of mid-March. That amounts to 1 blood clot case per 3.23 million J&J shots administered, the FDA said yesterday. The vaccine
Sorry to say, I don't believe that. I think it's way more.
You think it's more than that?
Yeah, I do.
What makes you think it's more?
Because I don't think that 9 people, I don't think they're going to stop the shot for 9 people. I think that it has to be way bigger the number.
I don't know. I don't know what their standard is for that.
It's not a horrible theory.
I really do think it's way more, because when it first came out, that was last April, because it came out a week after my parents got that one. And my mom was like, great, see what fucking happens. Of course. And they were saying stuff then. I just think I just have a feeling it's just way more, and they just don't want to actually say.
Quite possible, I guess. I just think also, even if it's not way more, they can't take the risk. First of all, I just think this is a little silly. There's other vaccines out there. If you really still want it, just get one of the other ones.
Yeah, get the other ones.
Why even bother? Who's going to request this anyway anymore? That just seems insane to me.
I know who. People who want to sue. Go ahead. Although you can't sue.
No, but if you request it and the info's out now.
I don't know. Can you? I mean,
you can't sue. Nobody can sue for the vaccine because you signed something when you got it.
Okay. But the other part of this too is, like, I rarely watch TV, and last night was one of those nights we didn't have a show, and they run The Office now on Freeform, so I just we threw Freeform on in the background because my wife and I were doing some stuff together, and we just kind of left it in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Just said, all right, thank you. Oh my God, that's all I hear coming out of that microphone.
What kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, no, I wish we were doing that stuff. But anyway, every third commercial was these fucking things for the vaccine, and it's kind of like that's done. That is over. Like, no more of that. The amount of money that the federal government is wasting now on these ads for something that is no longer needed at the alarming rate that these spots are portraying it as is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like, we should be able to sue the federal government to stop whatever they promised. Stop it It should have been stopped a month and a half ago, 3 months ago. It's just enough already with these spots or these things. And I got vaccinated. There's one commercial. This fucking woman goes, I got twin 3-year-old girls. And as soon as there's a vaccine that's, for them at their age, I'm going to give it. Like, what are you fucking kidding me? Are you insane? This is the kind of shit.
What's wrong with
that? That's fucking insane behavior.
Why is that insane?
That is utterly insane behavior.
You keep saying that's insane behavior.
Because,
and I say why, and you say that's insane behavior.
Because again, listen, it was one thing when we were in a dire situation and we were adults and by the way, this is what drives me crazy too. Some of the people that are like, see 9 people like you kind of knew, I knew this was going to happen.
Right.
We all knew this.
Every drug that's out there on the market,
exactly.
Side effect may include this, that, this.
Exactly.
Some of them are
this was going to happen. But we all took the risks. We all knew the risks involved. Well, not all of us, but some of us, went ahead and going, okay, you're fine. No big deal. If we're going to move on, this is what we're going to do. And that's it. To sit here and act like, boy, the second that the vaccine is approved for 3-year-olds, I'm going to give it to my kid. That you're talking about something that's probably 15 years away. Like, I mean, realistically,
okay. How do you know that? That's not true.
Like to give a 3-year-old the vaccines that they give to kids have been tested and trialed and all this shit for a really long time. You're sounding
exactly like someone from a year ago saying, "Oh, this needs more testing." They're testing this stuff. This is all tested stuff.
It's not a year ago, though. That's the point. It's not a year ago anymore.
Yeah. So what's your point?
This is not threatening whatsoever to children whatsoever. It wasn't a big threat to them then when it was a big threat to everybody. And now it is nowhere near a threat to them.
Is polio a threat? Probably not. But there's still vaccines and shit for it.
Polio is not a respiratory disease, though.
What does that mean? So what?
Virus. Because it's not all right, as bad.
Bad example. Whatever. When you get the vaccines, when you're a kid, you go to the hospital, your risk of getting rubella, probably low. But you get vaxxed for it.
I honestly don't even know what rubella is.
I think
smallpox.
And I don't know if they
mumps.
He made it up to make us feel bad about ourselves.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's it's funny. I agree. I agree. These people, are pushing it, trying to push it on kids, and you think, oh, this is so fake. But I've gotten videos on TikTok where there is this. She's a doctor and just a family practice, and she keeps saying how she can't wait to give it to her kids. She can't wait, and you read these comments, and these people I think that they're sick. I think there's something wrong with them because the one after another is like, I can't wait to take my kids out after they get the vaccine. You haven't taken your kids out? What's wrong with you? It's just we're so far from what we started with, and still these people are obsessed. They're obsessed with getting their kids vaccinated for something that doesn't affect them. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Now, if you're compromised and you might have a higher risk of getting severely sick, okay, maybe. But even then, these kids are not getting sick. I know someone who, this is my cousin of mine. She is 4 years old and she has cancer. She got COVID. Fine. She was not vaccinated. Fine. There was nothing.
The variants that are kicking around now are not. Thank God. Thank God they're nothing.
Well,
I mean, this thing really turned in the right direction for us.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also is to also prevent the spread of it again from blowing up to becoming a more and more.
I think that there will be a vaccine for newborns for this eventually, so that it is no longer an issue moving forward. That will be safely tested After that's why I said years and years and years of trial. Like that's the way this commercial is they act like any day now they'll come out with that 3-year-old one, and I'm going to be there with my twins, and it's like what the. And every doctor in this commercial has a fucking stethoscope around their neck. It's like part. It was like
you gotta have that's part of the act. But listen, you got when they came out with the vaccine a year ago, whatever the hell it was, we got it. We all got it. Well, most of us got it. And it's the same thing. Once they come out with the kid one, why is it you got to wait for that one 15 years and not the one we got?
Because there's no threat. Back then, this was a way for us to move forward as a society.
Well, the way to keep the threat down. There's no threat of a measles outbreak until there's a measles outbreak.
I just do not foresee this happening again.
Oh, well. Anthony said it, so it's not going to happen.
Listen, what we've just been through, if things start to get out again that another variant is kicked up and it's really bad, there is no way it travels the globe.
How do you know that?
Way. Because it'll be shut down wherever it is. Wherever it is.
Like it was the first time?
The worst threat. Well, you know what? We knew about this.
Yeah, and nobody did anything about it.
And nobody did anything about it.
Exactly. So what makes you think it can't spread again?
Trump's move of stopping air travel from China was right. It was fucking 4 months too late was the problem.
It was too late. He downplayed the severity of it. And
here we go again.
We're
right back to where we started.
All right, so we'll talk about the vaccines, but we can't talk about who was responsible.
No, you're right.
Fine.
It's not about. No, it's not about him.
But he got it rolling out, right?
We gotta just talk about the positives about Trump.
You're right. You're not wrong. But
never said that.
The point is,
I can't bring up the negative thing about Trump and the vaccine.
But it's not about him. The point is that if it was to flare up again somewhere in the world, now again, China would be the greatest threat to this because they don't fucking say shit to anybody. But still, if it was to flare up somewhere in the world, I think, especially now, we would have a really good hold on. Shut that shit down over there. Do not allow any travel. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we went into another 2-week, month-long, everybody fucking stay home again thing, just to not let it get the fuck out
that's
of
the point. We don't want to do that again. So why wouldn't we take every precaution we can?
Frank, you've been saying this whole time though that you understand why parents wouldn't want to vaccinate their children.
When did I say that?
You've been saying that. You said you understand why they wouldn't want to.
Anyway, I don't know about that.
Yes, you have. You definitely have, because you're like, I understand, I get it. Why they? No,
I understand it. I understand the what's it called? Like the hesitation. I get that they're scared. I get it, but I feel like the risk of it spreading again. Why wouldn't, like, mumps? We don't have the mumps spreading around because we're vaccinated against it. And then there were small towns. There was a story not too long ago that at small town there was a big uprising of people who didn't vax their kids against mumps. And guess what? The fucking mumps broke out in that town.
Right.
The problem is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're talking about deadlier diseases.
Deadlier or not, mumps isn't it's a severe disease, but it's not as deadly as. I don't even know if it is deadly. I'm not going to assume. I don't want to.
The problem is the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting it or spreading
helps. I can't do this again. Let's move on to the next one.
It's true, though. It is true. It's proven.
It's not true. So let's just move on. We're going to disagree.
Let's get back to
so if you got the vaccine, you can't get it, right?
That's not what I said. I said it helps prevent it.
All right, let's get back to the original point here, which is
Forget it.
now,
I'm dumb. I
didn't say you were dumb.
Right.
You're not dumb, but I want to keep the conversation back on the track that I put it on, which is right now all of our tax dollars and all of this fucking money that we laid out is still being spent to propagate a vaccine that is not necessary, any longer, and is definitely not necessary in children who never got it or got it that bad to begin with.
So they never got the mumps. Let's stop giving them the mumps vaccine.
But we're pissing billions of dollars away
Who's pissing it away? Is it
On
coming
these
out of your
TV
pocket?
you think these TV commercials? Yes, yes.
A
Where do
little
you think
bit,
all
but
this money
the
came
taxes didn't
from?
go up. Your taxes didn't move.
Dude, there has been, we haven't really talked about it a lot, but they're showing more and more fraud that took place with companies and people taking money during the pandemic that didn't have to. And that's one
another
issue.
whole
That's one issue to deal with. The other
What does
issue
that have to
is
do with this?
we're voluntarily giving money away to run ads for something that is not done. Frank, you know how much ads cost. Every stop set, every one, there's the same commercial. I can't imagine how much money they're spending on
That's
this.
probably a lot, but it's part of the fucking thing that they're trying to do.
Put it back. By the way, and again, I haven't really talked about this too much because they're not done with it. But the early studies of this is that more money went to waste and corporations that didn't fucking need it, and not the people that were really affected by COVID. They gave the money to all these businesses and business owners, which was nice. And the good ones paid and kept their employees on. Most of the people were not good ones. And they kept all the money for themselves instead of just flat out giving it. Why didn't they just give it to people? I still can't understand this. They gave it to the job providers to give it to their employees instead of just flat out giving it to the fucking people. It doesn't make any sense.
What does that have to do with the vaccine?
Because it's the waste of the money. It's the waste of the money. They put a lot of money aside to buy commercials on radio and television and print and YouTube, and all these places are spending money on. So that money is going to YouTube. That money is going to Paramount. And money is going to Disney, all these places that own these channels. And yet the people that lost their fucking jobs or lost their second jobs got dicked over. Got completely fucked over. But we have to run the ad in fucking May of 2022 that I only want to get my kid vaccinated against a thing that doesn't fucking harm my kid anyway. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's a waste of money. I'm not saying that the vaccine is bad. I'm not saying that we don't need it, but it's ridiculous to be out there pumping this like it's fucking March of 2020 again.
Yeah.
That's my only point.
Okay.
He's mad at us. He's mad at me, definitely. Definitely mad at me. But
I can't do the same fucking battle back and forth.
You guys can rehash it all.
No, I'm not doing that. We're moving on.
Tap in.
Nobody is interested in this.
You can say whatever you want, but I'm not participating in that.
Well, nobody's interested in hearing the two of you and your difference of opinions on what works and what doesn't work.
Frank did say that he understands why parents wouldn't have their kids vaccinated.
I will
say you
can't
come here now and well, you could change your mind if you want to.
No, I'm not changing anything. What if I said, and I can't remember, maybe I did. If I said that parents, I understand that they don't want to get their kids vaccinated. I do. Okay. I understand that they have some trepidation about it, but it's FDA approved and it fights a deadly disease. What's the fucking problem?
Paul says DOJ has said they are investigating the PPP scams. They are. And like that's my point. And when we haven't talked about it, but let's say they've gotten to like 3% of the issue and they found that like 60% of it was bullshit, like total fraudulent and whatever.
So I know someone who did that. I know someone who said that the reason was that they wanted it was because they were scared that they weren't going to be able to pay their employees, even though there was absolutely no sign of it. So, and they took the money.
What do you mean no sign of it?
There was no sign of them not having any money. There was no slowdown in business. Their area was not affected at all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You had a lot of companies that, again, their employees went home. They worked from home.
Right.
Nothing changed in their business. And they got money. Yet you had restaurants and bars and theaters and actors and
a lot of people got screwed over.
Theme park people who couldn't work or their hours got shorted or whatever. And they didn't get shit. they didn't get anything out of the deal. You know, their hours were like if you were a bartender and you lived off of that money and you couldn't bartend any longer or you couldn't get the tips or whatever, you got totally fucked through COVID because there was no way that money was being made up. No possible way. Yet, like I said, they're still buying ads on these TV stations and these billion-dollar corporations are cashing those checks. It's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
It's fucked up, you know.
Great.
Brittany, well, you're annoyed. Are you annoyed?
I am a little annoyed, but let's move.
Okay.
I mean, because I said you could still get COVID when you got the shot.
Doesn't matter.
All right, let's go to Britney Spears and her naked preggers doggy pic.
Darn it, I got 10% left. What a shame.
I don't know. Again,
that's what he's thinking.
He's not. Are you mad at Jay Sams?
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. No, I'm mad at some thought processes. That's all.
Oh, my thought.
No, I'm mad at because a lot of people think that it's not, the numbers are very low. There's nothing to worry about for the most part. But I still hear of people getting COVID. Yeah, it may not be as severe because a lot of people are vaccinated. Most people are vaccinated. When it gets transferred from person to person, they're vaccinated. It's not a big deal. But the reason it's not a big deal anymore is because a lot of people got vaccinated. That helped. Let's say nobody got vaccinated, and this was still going around. You think everybody would be fine? No, we still have the numbers that we.
You don't think the strains had something to do with that either?
A little bit.
Not being as bad.
A little bit, but Frank's not wrong. We're in the position we're in because a lot of people got vaccinated.
Right.
1,000%.
Yeah, the strains changed, but let's say we were in the first stage, strain 1. People got vaccinated. The numbers went down. The strain mutated, and then it came back a little bit, but it wasn't as severe. If we didn't get vaccinated, strain 1 would probably still be rampant, and we'd still have a huge problem. So
I agree with everything that you just said. I agree with everything that you just said.
That's my point.
But my point is,
there's money being wasted. I get that. Absolutely.
But the hand that we're being dealt now has changed. It's not the hand that we had back then. So that money is being pissed away.
The hand is different, but they still want people to get vaccinated. Not everybody's getting vaccinated. So what do you want me to tell you? I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what the percentage is of Americans who are vaccinated versus not. But they have the numbers, and they think, maybe they're probably spending too much on commercials. I get it. But they still want people to get vaccinated. Maybe I don't know what the numbers are, but let's say it's 80%.
Let me ask you,
want more.
If you had a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, or 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, you would vaccinate them today?
No, it's not approved for them today.
Say it gets approved in a month.
And if I had a 3-year-old and they said it's approved,
yep,
then I would get them vaccinated.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody that said that they would have their baby be part of the trial. Still blows my mind to this day.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
Well, they are part of the trial, technically.
But you know what?
It is true.
Some people need to think like that in order for there to be, for it to help everybody. I'm not one of those people. I'm a selfish prick. Okay, I would never put my kid in a testing situation, but not everybody is like that. Not everybody's like that.
Thank you, Paige. Paige gets what I'm talking about.
What did she say?
All right. Well, now I have to display what she said here.
Oh, I don't see it.
There you go.
Frank is not mad at J-Sabs. He is just disheartened in general.
No, that's not it, Paige. He thinks I'm misinformed.
Listen to what you said, but not what I just said. She'll tell you how I feel.
It's true, though. I know how you feel.
Okay.
I know.
No,
you think I'm misinformed?
Me saying how I feel. Listen to someone else telling you how I feel.
I'm a woman. Don't you know that's what we do?
That's fine.
No, but I get what you're saying. I want to address it. I'm not discrediting the vaccine for what it has done. I'm vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
I think it helped severely.
But you're saying we don't need it now.
Now we don't need it. Not that we don't need it. It doesn't need to be pushed down our throats at the rate it is, wasting the money that it's wasting.
What if, hypothetical here, what if they came out next month with the vaccine and it's mixed in with all the when you're born vaccines, and they said now we're just vaccinating everybody when they're born, just like we do with mumps and everything else. Are you okay with that?
It would have to be tested, though. They wouldn't do it.
It's tested. They're testing it. It's been testing
in infants. It's a different thing.
Well, okay, yeah, it's tested. It's approved. It's not been 20 years. I'm saying it comes out next year, and they say they've been working on it since COVID started.
But it wouldn't
working on.
It's still not enough time. They would have to test.
What's enough time
for infants? I don't know, but it ain't a year and a half. And by the way,
we're also more than that.
We're also at the point where they're approving the COVID pills. So there's more treatments now for it than there is.
Well, why do you trust those?
I trust those the same way I trust the vaccine that I took. I think there could be.
We don't need them though. We don't need them now because it's not a big threat anymore.
Hang on.
No, you hang on.
You still. I'm okay with people still getting vaccinated. If you are in a high risk category, I think that you should be vaccinated. I am fine with you being vaccinated. If you know the risks that are involved,
perfectly healthy person shouldn't be vaccinated.
The amount of healthy 25-year-old people that have died from this.
That's not the point. It's like if I were a 25-year-old, perfect health, and I get COVID and I pass it on to someone and I'm not vaccinated, and I pass it on to someone with health problems, then I'm kind of sort of halfway responsible in a little way.
I don't think you're responsible though.
I understand what you're saying.
Completely, but there's a little bit there.
Is the other person vaccinated?
No.
Look, so listen, we can't go back down this path. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and you're not wrong. It's just, it's not as deadly as it was 2 years ago. It's just not.
Still COVID. It just may not be as widespread.
Then the people that are but we're at the point now where the people who are in a risk category should be vaccinated, should be wearing masks, and should be protecting themselves.
Should.
We can't have everybody in society changing their life again.
What is this changing their life?
Or getting vaccinated. Okay. Let me give you your example.
I'm talking about getting the shot.
Okay, let me give you your example right back to you. You feel the way that you feel, and you feel like I don't want to harm anybody else. I should be vaccinated.
Right.
You go out and you get the vaccine, but turns out that you're the 1 in a 3 million case that gets a blood clot and dies.
Okay.
Because there's 9 people right now that we know of that are in that exact situation.
Right.
Who's better here? What's more right?
The
person that just died now getting something that they probably didn't need because they were going to be safe and live a long, fruitful life because they were healthy.
It's not just about them. You're getting the vaccine so you don't spread it.
Right.
Yeah, to someone else.
But let's assume that they would have made it through life just okay. And they felt how you felt, which is admirable. And they get the vaccine and now they get a blood clot and they're dead. Are you going to explain that to their family? Are you going to be like, well, they had to get the vaccine because everybody said?
If someone dies from the vaccine, which, 9 people?
There's 9 people absolutely confirmed by the FDA for this particular vaccine, let alone we already talked about the Pfizer issues and everything there that still needs to be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's good. No one should. Obviously, someone dying from something is not good, and I'm not like, yeah, that's great. He's doing it for the good of the people. No, that's not great at all. My point is, if you're all right, you get vaccinated because you want to save whoever you come in contact with. I know that there are risks. There are risks in this vaccine. There's risks in literally every drug out there. Every single drug has side effects and risks, and a lot of them, even the ones you see on TV, for helps your liver, but it might cause a kidney disease. It helps you this. It might cause that. And people take those things like the Tic Tacs. And they're like, oh, it might cause my head to explode, but
I understand, but they're taking it because it might help their issue and what they have.
Well, this is a global thing that's going around.
Understandable, but it's not like it was 2 years ago. It's not worth the risk of having a perfectly healthy individual who's probably going to get it and survive it.
That's why they took it away. They're not.
All right. Well, you can't raise your hand when I say perfectly healthy individual. There are a lot of mental issues of your own.
Well, that's a definite. You're right.
All right. That's my only.
And no one's mandating. You know, that's what Bert's saying. No one is mandating, but that's why they're stopping the Johnson & Johnson. There's the risks. You know, we're not. It wasn't 9 people. You said so. That's why they're stopping it. I agree with that.
All right.
We're all on the same page.
I think so.
Let's talk about the guy with a penis on his arm or something. All
right. Well, let's talk about Britney Spears. And is this motherfucker playing with us or is she pregnant? I don't know. She posted these pictures. I got to flash this. I don't know if I could leave this on screen for too long.
Was it nudie or is it covered up?
Well, it's covered. She covered it up, but it's kind of nudie. But we just got back on Facebook, and I don't want to blow it on the first fucking day.
Where did she post it?
On her Instagram. That's her Instagram.
All right.
And people are saying her little. She's covering. Is she covering a baby bump here?
Oh, how are we gonna know?
Because she's holding up the dog. Look at where she's like conveniently holding up the dog.
Well, there's no way to tell, of course.
Oh, I want that dog.
There's a cute dog.
Dog. Well, I didn't even notice there was a fucking dog in the picture, so I don't know. What...
I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah.
So there's no way to know from that picture. And what are you gonna?
Yeah, but now she's just toying with everybody.
I feel like if you go back though, not to that picture, but she on her Instagram page, I've seen she has a picture of her with her stomach out. It didn't look like she was pregnant, and I feel like it was recently. I thought before the nudie ones.
Here's another. Here, this is a TikTok she put on. Looks like she got a little bit of a belly there.
Well, when did she supposedly announce that she was pregnant? Remember that?
I don't know. It was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought it was more than that. Okay, so
I haven't checked up. But also, she could be. I mean, this could be old. I don't know. She's messing with us. Is it that she just got a dog?
Yeah, who knows?
You know, she's saying baby daddy. Like the dog is the baby daddy. I don't know if she just got a dog or if she's pregnant. I can't tell.
Well, you know what? This is her exercising her. I could say what I want, and I don't have to come out and say I'm pregnant. I don't have to come out and say anything. This is my freedom now.
I just vote for more nudie pictures. That's all I say. That's the side I'm on.
That's the important stuff.
Will Smith is going to sit down with David Letterman. Don't get too excited, though. Turns out that this interview was recorded prior to him slapping the shit out of Chris Rock.
So who cares?
Yeah, right. But it's part of the new season of David Letterman. My next guest needs no introduction on Netflix. I'm still looking forward to it. I also I'm not excited as if he would have been post slap interviewing.
Right.
I also do kind of want to see what they talked about prior to him just losing his fucking marble. See if there's any little tidbits.
I'm sure there'll be Jada stuff in there.
Yeah. I wonder if there is any little, because you got to think that if you're the Letterman people and you have this interview in the can, now you're going back, because it's not, if you've seen the show, he talks to him on a stage, but they also have like a day or two where Letterman will go to their house or they'll go do something together and they'll talk there as well. And then he just cuts it all together. So it's like them on a stage and then them at a supermarket and then back to the stage and then them at a shoe store or whatever, so like he cut. So you got to think that they had to go back to their footage and comb through and see if they saw any little inklings of him about to lose his fucking shit.
Does he slap David Letterman?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know how much traction you get with that beard. Would it even hurt him?
Probably not. It would definitely soften the blow.
Okay.
All right. Ireland Baldwin is making some news. This is the daughter of Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger.
Basinger.
Do you say Basinger or Basinger?
Gur.
Gur? Okay.
Gur.
Anyway, she claims that her ex told her that he wanted to fuck her mom.
That's healthy.
Boy, I know how that feels.
It is. You know how that feels?
Yeah, from you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh.
I want to bang your mom. Oh, your mom left her shoes by my house. Okay.
We've all fucked your mom. We have.
Yeah,
there's not just want there. That's been done.
That's
I
old
hope she
news.
sees this one.
Also, all at the same time, but that was just one weird coke-filled Johnny Depp night.
Yeah, that was. I think Cawthorn was there too.
Fuck. He probably was. I thought it was odd there was a wheelchair there. I'm like, hey, nobody of us needs a wheelchair.
Yeah, but I didn't. I was like, why am I looking at a wheelchair when I'm doing something else?
Yeah. It was part of a TikTok trend saying, what is the one thing your ex said to you that you will never forget? Ireland came on, and she basically said, yeah, my ex said he wanted to fuck my mom.
Awkward.
Yikes. That is awkward.
That's tough because Ireland is okay. She's not an awful looking young lady. She's okay. But Kim Basinger, I mean,
he's the guy was just being honest, I guess. I mean, it is Kim Basinger.
Yeah. That's got to be a tough existence when your mom is so fucking hot.
Ooh. And that's called the Meg existence. Family Guy reference.
Is that
when you're Meg and your mom is Lois? Yeah, that's the problem.
Do we know anybody, or you guys have never gone through that? We joke a lot, but
what? That we dated someone whose mom was hotter?
Yeah, like did you know anybody, or have you ever, like, I don't think it happened with your moms, but
thanks, Aunt.
Did you know? Nothing against Phyllis. I love Phyllis. She can have it whenever she wants it from me if my wife's okay with it. But my point is like, I don't know. I don't really know anybody who was in this situation where like mom was so hot that you wanted to get with mom over.
I think Stacy.
Yeah.
That was the only one. Stacy's mom.
Like, I don't even remember a hot mom.
When you were younger?
What?
When you were younger?
Yeah, like when I was younger, I don't remember like a hot mom of being like, let's go over Johnny's house because Johnny's mom is fucking hot.
Yeah, we were like, that's true because there was nothing like that when we were young.
No. We also grew up in a pre-MILF phase too, before MILF became
MILF wasn't a thing. That's true.
Thing. I mean, it became a thing when we were growing up.
Now, it was invented by American Pie, right?
Yep.
Or was it just popularized by it?
I think they coined the phrase.
Yeah, they made it. They made it huge, but did they get it from someplace?
I don't know.
Like that was the launching point for it, and that we've never looked back.
Yeah, I was going to say 99% of people probably never even heard of it before that, if it did exist before.
That's the thing. I don't know if it happened before that, and they just made it huge, or what. Like if it was in a TV show or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so Ireland Baldwin. That is a weird one. Do we know who the boyfriend was?
No, I didn't even care to look. I don't know if she said.
All right.
But this poor girl, her dad calls her a pig. Her boyfriend wants to fuck her mom. It's a tough existence.
Things are going to work out for her. She'll be.
I mean, she's got a ton of money.
Yeah,
but think about it though. Even Kim Basinger, even in the Eminem movie where she was like coked out and trailer trash, was still fucking hot.
She's Kim Basinger after all.
That's how you know you're hot. When it's like,
that's true. I forgot.
I'm gonna play the trailer trash girl, and people are like, who's fucking hot? Is that trailer trash Kim Basinger? She's fucking great.
Batman. She's good in Batman.
So hot in Batman.
You know what movies? I'm sorry, but I was not a big fan of this movie, LA Confidential. I couldn't get into it.
I've never seen it.
And she won for that, and I was like, she should have won for other things.
I'm struggling to come up with another Kim Basinger movie outside of the three that we just named.
I feel like there's one called the Getaway. Let's see. A bunch of others.
All right, let's see here. 9.5 weeks is LA Confidential was 97. Batman was 89. Never Say Never Again. She was in a
James Bond.
I guess maybe she had a small part.
Okay.
Cellular in 2004.
That wasn't bad. That was an underrated movie. I remember that one.
The Getaway with Alec Baldwin in 94.
There you go.
The Natural. She was in The Natural.
Oh, look at that.
I don't
Unless
even
Jay
remember
Sabs.
that. I don't even remember The Natural. Oh, Wayne's World.
Yep.
So hot in Wayne's World. Dreamweaver.
Yeah, that's true.
Brought that song back.
And then it was Heather Locklear.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, was Heather Locklear that had the...
I don't remember.
You might be
She was
right
in the
about
first
that.
one, right? Basinger was in the first one?
Oh, I don't know. This says Wayne's World 2.
Oh. Maybe Heather Locklear was the first one.
And Kim
Can't
Basinger
remember.
was in the second one?
I guess.
Yeah, you're right. It was Heather Locklear. I don't even remember her being.
Yeah, Heather Be Thy Name.
All right. Here's the hottest one ever. The Door and the Floor. You ever see that movie?
No.
Fucked up movie.
Sounds weird.
It's her and the dude. What's his real name? Jeff Bridges.
Lebowski.
Yeah. It's her and Jeff Bridges, and it's about, I think it's like a Hamptons couple or something, and it's really fucked up. Like he's off, like he's like an artist or some bullshit, and he's banging some other girl, and this boy comes out to be like his intern or some bullshit, and then she starts banging the young kid. It's this whole weird fucking thing, and like they have a daughter, like a 6-year-old girl maybe, and the 6-year-old girl walks in on Kim Basinger taking it doggy style from the fucking 20-year-old kid or some shit like that. It was fucked up.
Why was it called The Door and the Floor?
I don't know. It was based off a book, I think. I don't know. But
I was expecting supernatural, like weird shit. Like that's weird, but
yeah,
supernatural door in the floor, like someone's buried under there or something.
Yeah, it was 2004, and I remember because I think the IFC channel was a big deal, and that was like when it was like when everybody was like indie crazy. It was like, oh yeah, this was the indie buzz, like The Door on the Floor. You got to see this movie.
That was when the IFC channel actually showed independent movies.
That was a good. You know what? I fucking love that. That was a great time.
I used to. You flip by, you go by IFC, and you go, oh, and then you just keep going. Because I was like, oh, an independent movie. Nope. Just go.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it because it was a time where it was like, I don't know. I got so bored with this. Everything, every movie was so predictable. And then you get like these indie movies and they were so kind of weird and they looked unpolished and weird. You know, it was very intriguing. I fucking love the IFC.
You're a poser.
It sucks that they don't do that. I guess they kind of do, but I don't know. There's too many choices now. Now I don't have it in me to.
Does IFC have an app, a streaming app?
I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be right up your alley.
But there's plenty of movies. There's plenty of independent movies on like Netflix and Hulu and all that shit. But now there's so, like I said, there's so much shit now.
Yeah.
That I don't really seek that stuff out.
I hear you.
But Door on the Floor was a weird one.
Sounds weird.
Last one of the night here, Frankie. See the Virgin Airline flight.
This is
unless you want to talk about Trump and Pompeo.
Do we have to?
Trump wanted to bomb Mexico.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Well, he said he wanted to bomb it, and then the Secretary of Defense came out and said he wanted to send 250,000 troops. And the Secretary of Defense was like, actually no, Steve Miller said it to him, and I think Trump okayed it, and they were starting the process, and the Secretary of Defense was like, he told General Milley,
absolutely fucking not.
He said, if you hear about this, Milley, like, let me know. And then General Milley's like, you'll never believe it, but they're trying to do it. And the Secretary of Defense shut it down. He was like, fuck, absolutely not.
What a fucking idiot.
But now Donald Trump Jr. is coming out and saying that his dad wanted to take on the drug cartels in Mexico, not actually like bomb Mexico.
Okay. Well, here's the thing: when you bomb drug cartels in Mexico, you're bombing Mexico. That's on their that's
on their
part
property.
That's on their property.
Yeah,
so like you start lighting off bombs in Mexico, people are gonna notice and go, "What the fuck you doing?"
I agree with you. I would think that Mexico, you know, that their government would work together with our government to maybe figure that all out.
That's the move. You call Mexico and you say, "Listen, we want to take on your drug cartels. Show us where they are. We'll help you take them out." We're just going to bomb Mexico.
Which, by the way, Bush, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, and nobody has thought to do that.
What? I'll call Mexico and be like, let's work together on this.
And yeah, or even be like, if you don't want to work together because your country's so fucked up from them and paid off and whatever, just make way while we do it. You know,
That's kind of letting our troops walk. You know, just stomp around on in your country. I don't know.
And I also feel like bombing this shit out. Like, I don't know. That seems like you can just, I don't know. It feels like there's other ways to do that with drones and, you know.
Well, drones. So what are you talking about? Drone strikes? Because that's bombing the country.
I mean, I guess so. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you, I don't know. I think you can strategically.
Yeah. You call Mexico and say, hey, we want to get to the bottom of this drug thing.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do? Let's work together on this. You don't say, hey, Steve Miller, let's bomb. What do you think about bombing Mexico?
Yeah. Every time I see Steve Miller's face, I just go, who fucking let you in? Honestly,
this is like a 30-year-old idiot who his idea was the wall was his big idea, and anything racist that Trump's ideas were, probably were worked on between him and Steve Miller.
Oh, is that right? He's the racist guy
for the most part. Well,
so you're saying that Trump is not totally racist?
He is too.
Okay.
Yeah, Justice, what about the wall? That's probably why he wanted to put up the wall, so he could bomb them and be like, let's hide behind the wall.
Stephen Miller is a dick turtle without a shell. That's what he looks like.
He is a dick turtle.
Also, every time I see him, I go, I wish you were the real Steve Miller and you play Fly Like an Eagle, because that guy's good.
That's a better Steve Miller.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
So that's the Trump thing. Knock that one out of the way. By the way, Pompeo, let me give you this one, stepping up and going like this. Dr. Oz is bullshit. Don't vote for him in Pennsylvania.
Nice. Good.
Because Trump's backing Oz in Pennsylvania and Pompeo is backing the other guy. I don't know who the fuck it is. But it's also not Steve Miller who Fly Like an Eagle. That would be great.
That would be perfect. Did you see there was a video of Dr. Oz, I guess at one of Trump's stupid rallies. And he's
getting face fucked by Madison Cawthorn?
Not yet. That's not
amazing.
Yet. But he says some stupid shit. We want to keep. He actually says we want to keep the. Yeah. Can I play it?
You want to bomb Mexico?
Not that. No, not that.
Yeah, play it. Is it a speech?
I gotta find it. Yeah, he's on stage, at a rally behind, the podium.
All right, look for it. I'll give you the reason why Pompeo is talking this shit. As it turns out, Dr. Oz has dual citizenship. He's a citizen of the United States and a citizen of Turkey. He's worked with the Turkish government on a bunch of things. He's a consultant for Turkey Airlines or Turkish Airlines, whatever the hell they're called. And so Pompeo's kind of like, yeah, red flag with this guy. Again, it's not like, I don't think Turkey's, putting us in any sort of danger. But when you're working so closely with another government, I think Pompeo's point is perhaps maybe you shouldn't be in the United States government at the same time when you're on the payroll with other governments.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do that. Now, where the hell was it? All right, well, I can't find the video. I saw it on Twitter.
Can you find the Fly Like an Eagle video? Just play that. It's fine.
Oh, that'd be good. I'll play that for you. We'll get struck down so fast. But there's a video of him on stage, Dr. Oz, and he's talking to the crowd, getting them all riled up. And one of the things he said was, we got to keep the borders clean. It comes off as the borders are, unclean and it's a weird.
Well, I would say they're dusty. There's a lot of sand and dust.
A little dust, but it's just a weird thing to say. I don't know. All right. Different note, same general topic.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see who was on Fox News talking about inflation?
DJ Pauly D, the economic master.
The perfect person to talk about inflation.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Was on my docket, got tossed because of all the other topics we had. But I'll talk. I didn't see what he said, though.
No, it's just an image.
Yeah.
I just got the image of that. I don't know, the idiot with the haircut. I don't know his name. But he's like, he's talking. It's him and split screen, him and Pauly D. And
Jonathan Waters, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I think so.
Waters, whatever the fuck Waters' name is.
I don't know. It's him next to Paul, and it says DJ Paulie D on inflation.
Yeah,
because we all are on the edge of our seats, wondering what Paulie D has to say about the nation's inflation.
Well, he turns the party out. So,
well, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, you bring up the situation, then you got something. But
yeah, well, didn't he go to jail for tax fraud? We should ask that guy how to weasel our way out of.
See, there you go. There's a story.
Yeah,
there's a show.
That's a show. Yeah, I don't know. I think Paulie D is hawking like a new Mountain Dew, which is why he was on that show even to begin with. So I don't.
That's probably true.
I take all that shit with a grain of salt.
It's like imagine the pitch meeting. Oh, who do we got to talk about inflation? This guy, that guy, this lawyer, that economist. No. We got DJ Paulie D. Who the hell is that? Remember he was on that Jersey Shore show like 10 years ago? Oh, great. Okay, we'll talk about inflation with him.
Wait, so DJ Paulie D spins? No, I pick. That's still my favorite clip. I will be driving in my car by myself, and I'll just be like, I pick.
I don't spin, I pick.
I don't spin, I pick.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing Trump has ever said. It's the greatest thing he's ever. And I know people I know they want him to play his other hits. Like, we'll build a wall in Mexico, we'll pay for it. But I love when he was talking about DJing parties and he was so fucking proud of himself. And they're like, do you spin? And he's like, no, I pick.
I pick. You know what the best song is? YMCA.
What was it, YMCA or was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the one he plays at all his rallies.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. All right. We have to do this one too because we did tease it. And it is a big story. The Florida officials revealed the context of the math books that were banned.
Okay.
So if you remember, everybody in the mainstream media jumped on stupid Ron DeSantis because they were like, oh, he's banning math books now because they're too woke and blah, 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 and this and that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the books that was banned, and so now as it turns out, it was the Department of Education that banned these things. And he was the only one he just announced it. So it wasn't even his decision, but he did back what they said. But here I'm looking at a math textbook. Let me read it to you as I try and get it on the screen here.
See, I don't understand that though. Like not knowing what it is yet.
Yeah.
Banning a book instead of if there's a problem, there's something that's wrong in the book or there's pictures, whatever the hell they want to change. Why not just change the book, that part, and put the book out?
Well, that's what they're doing now. They sent it back to the publishers, and they were
it's not banned. It's being
Well, it was though, because they were ready to go with it, and then they were like, "I don't think so. You got to take this shit out."
All right. Well, what's the shit?
Okay, so here's the shit. Here's the one thing, and it's weird. I agree with this, and it's always a little strange when I'm on his side. This is in a math book. In a math book, it says adding and subtracting polynomials.
Right.
Here's the paragraph. What? Me? Racist? More than 2 million people have tested their racial prejudice using an online version of the implicit association test. Most groups' average scores fall between slight and moderate bias, but the differences among groups by age and by political identification are intriguing. In this section's exercise, you will be working with models that measure bias. Each model represents the implicit blah, 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 whatever, so on and so forth. Here's the next slide where they show you. The bar graph shows the difference among age groups on the implicit association test that measure levels of racial prejudice. Higher scores indicate stronger bias. And as you can see here, the most racist motherfuckers we have are over the age of 65. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying, does this really belong in a math textbook? Because back in my day, Frank, which also happens to be your day, it was fucking Sally takes away 8 oranges from Billy. How many oranges does Billy have left? It's not
yeah,
what me
weird.
Am I racist? I gotta say, this fucking DeSantis got a point. Why is this in a math textbook? And this insanity of woke people always wanting to push the racial agenda to make everybody feel bad can seem crazy at times, and then you see this and you're like, oh shit, like that's kind of got a fucking point there. Why is this in a math textbook?
Can I ask a question that probably has doesn't matter? Do we know what grade this math textbook is for?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know, but I would assume it's something in the middle school, high school level. I don't know, but it's still I read this and struggled to figure out a reasoning for this, and it just
a little weird.
Doesn't exist, because you can do this exact math problem going, New Yorkers love hockey, and 90% of them follow the Rangers, 10% follow the Islanders, or 7% follow the Buffalo Sabres. Figure out by age. You can do this with anything else.
What's hockey doing in the math book?
Basketball, baseball fans. The plethora of opportunity out there is endless. They had to pass 17 million things to get to, let's make it about being racist. Like, how does that happen?
It's 2 lessons built in one, though.
That's fucking crazy. If you want to put it into a social studies book or a history book or whatever, okay.
Well, what's math doing in a history book?
Well, not that, but I'm saying the idea of race and we learned about the civil rights movement and everything, and we turned out okay. Now all of a sudden there's racism in math books and critical race. I can't keep track. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Were there any civil rights questions in our math books? I don't know.
No,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, you didn't do homework. I did, and I can tell you,
I did some. I did more homework than you did. Guaranteed.
That's debatable.
Guaranteed.
But I can tell you, between the two of us, we did most of the homework, and I don't remember either of us discussing the race issue when it came to fucking algebra.
It might have just been one of those. We looked at the question, we got the answer right or wrong, and we moved on to the next thing. We didn't even think about what the content. We just took it as a math question.
Well, it's just wild to me that these theories float out there, like DeSantis is batshit crazy, and
that's not a theory.
Then you look at the "don't say gay" thing, and you're like, what asshole fucking teacher would be talking about sex in the classroom that would trigger such a law that would thusly then have so many flaws? Thusly then?
No.
And then the story comes out that just 3 fucking weeks prior to we didn't get a chance to talk about this on the last show, but 3 weeks prior to them passing that bullshit law, some asshole was in class fucking telling 3rd graders what sexual orientation they were.
They telling what? Telling for
the story is these kids in a class asked their teacher, a female, what their not their gender, what their orientation was.
Okay.
And instead of the teacher being like, that's private, or we're not going to have this conversation in this class with I don't think that's appropriate even on the 8th grade class. I mean, we never got that information from teachers.
How old are you?
Ever.
You're like our parents. You're like well, back in my day, we didn't talk about such things.
But so the teacher goes, "Oh, I'm a pansexual. I like everybody." I'm like, okay, I think it's great, but I don't know if I honestly don't, and I can't believe I'm in a position where I have to be saying this.
But what's inappropriate about saying who? I like to,
I don't remember our teachers ever telling us who they were fucking. Ever.
Did you ask?
First of all, I can't say her last name, but the one we were trying to figure that out. She never said shit.
Nobody asked.
We had one hot teacher, Frank and I, that was just fucking ridiculously hot.
Well, I think the problem, everybody gets hung up when they talk about like the don't say gay bill and everything, which I am totally against, by the way.
Me too. Can I just say before you make your point, so I don't look like a racist bigot? I'm against it too. But my point of that it was a overreaction to another overreaction is valid. The law is bullshit and sucks, but it wasn't completely unprovoked.
I don't think it was provoked at all, because what if the teacher had said, if it was a woman, right?
Yeah.
Teacher. She just said, "Oh, I date men." Is that inappropriate?
No, yeah, don't say anything.
If they ask you, "Oh, what's your, who do you like to go out with?" "Oh, I like to go out with men." I mean,
again,
maybe she shouldn't talk about her personal life.
Yeah, I don't remember a time if a kid's like, Miss Jones, I have 2 mommies. Is that weird? No, it's not weird at all. It's perfectly
Maybe that's
normal.
Well, we don't know what the exact situation was in the classroom. Yeah. Maybe that's how it came up.
No, it came up because they were like, who are you attracted to? Who are you sleeping with? And she's like, well, I have a husband, but I'm a pansexual. I like sleeping with everybody.
That's exactly how it was.
You're going to make me find the article.
I'm going to make you find the article. But I think, who knows how it came up, number one. And number two, there's a difference between talking about that and talking about your own personal private life. You don't have to share anything about your private life. That's your own business. But if someone, asks about it, it's probably because they want, I'm not, who knows what the reason is, but maybe they want to know that it's normal, and they, because maybe the kids knew she was married, but maybe saw her, I don't know, flirting with a woman. I have no idea. You don't know the situation.
You're saying I don't know a lot.
I don't. We weren't there. We don't know the situation. Mm-hmm. And I think that the subject, a lot of people get mixed around with, the point I was going to make before was, a lot of people, when they say, sexual orientation, people go, we can't have them talking about sex in the classroom. That's not what's being talked about. Sexual orientation and sex are 2 different things. It's not like they're in the classroom, in a kindergarten classroom going, this is where this goes, and this is where that goes. No, it's, why do I have 2 mommies? Why do I have 2 daddies? That's the stuff that's being banned in these classrooms, and that's what's bullshit. It's not sex education.
You banned.
It's sexual orientation education.
Okay. This Florida teacher, Casey Scott, she's an art teacher, claimed she was fired for discussing her pansexual status with middle school students.
Middle school. Okay, so
whom then asked,
12 years old, right?
I don't know. How old are you?
Something like that. 10 years old? I don't know. Whatever it is. They're kids. Whoever it is, it's
3rd, 4th, 5th grade. Yeah.
Okay.
Cape Coral artist Casey Scott said her students were curious about her sexual orientation, and she explained to them that she was pansexual during a lesson in March. A discussion happened in class, and because of that, now I'm fired, she told NBC2 down in Florida. Pansexual refers to someone who is attracted to all categories of people, regardless of their sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation. Scott, who was married to a man, said the kids at Trafalgar Middle School then created flags representing their own sexuality and gender identities, ranging from transgender and non-binary to gay. The first-year teacher posted their creations to her classroom door before administrators told her to take them down. They said it would be in the best interest if I got rid of them now, she told NBC. Scott then said she crumpled up the pictures and put them in the trash. Lee School District, actually, Lee, is that by my parents? No. Lee School District officials said some students understood her explanation of her sexuality while others were left confused. The subject matter angered some parents and students who wrote to administrators to voice their displeasure. Scott, who was working on a probationary basis and not part of the teachers' union, was eventually told not to return to campus, and her contract was being terminated. District officials attributed her dismissal to not following the curriculum, the outlet reported. This came just days before Governor Ron DeSantis banned instruction related to gender identity.
have you ever been in a classroom and somehow a topic that has nothing to do with the lesson, you spend 20 minutes on it, and it's just a back and forth between the teacher and the students? That's happened in class. Has nothing to do with the curriculum or whatever. Right. It's just a open discussion.
But here's the point. Like, if a kid in middle school asks you, who are you banging, you shouldn't answer that. The same way if their kid's like, do you smoke cigarettes? You could smoke a pack a day. You should still say, no, I don't smoke. Smoking is bad for you.
What? Yeah, you could say smoking is bad for you, but why can't you say, yeah, I smoke? It's an addiction, and I can't. You can't say I smoke.
No, not to children. You can't say, yeah, I smoke cigarettes. The children. You can't do it. You go.
It's not like it doesn't exist.
I don't smoke.
Kids walk around and see people smoking all day.
I know, but they idolize their teachers, and you can't.
So then what's wrong with saying if a teacher says I'm gay, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with being gay.
Yeah, and the question was, who are you banging? I'm sure that wasn't the question in the classroom.
This is how
it wasn't. Yeah, you're paraphrasing pretty hard.
She said the students, this is how the article reads, according to NBC2 in Florida.
Okay.
The students were curious about her sexual orientation.
There you go.
She explained to them that she's pansexual.
So it wasn't, hey, teach, who you banging?
Well, I'm sure it was like, hey, teacher, are you married? Who are you with? What are you doing?
Yeah. And she said, oh, I'm...
none of your nothing. Nobody.
Yeah, she could have said none of your business. But look, let's just go with what happened here now. So she said that, and then the kids felt safe and comfortable enough to...
Hold on. TH, objection, hearsay.
Horsay.
Or what did you're calling her a whore?
I'm not.
My goodness.
You're an idiot. For those listening, the word
that does it say
horsey? Horsey. It says horsey.
Objection, horsey.
Yeah, objection.
You know what? They haven't done that yet in the trial. I think they will, though.
And a horse says nay, damn it. Okay.
Objection, Your Honor, horsey.
Nay. Yeah. That's twice for no. So my point is, now the kids felt comfortable enough that they could share how they were feeling, and they made flags about it, and that it turned into a safe space for them if they were questioning their own feelings.
Again, I feel differently. Again, if it's, hey, Miss Jones, Billy's got two dads. Is that weird? No,
maybe that's what came up.
It's not weird at all. It's perfectly normal. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it.
See, again, the question wasn't, hey, teach, who you banging. It could have been anything. It could have been an innocent question, and she said, oh, well, and the fact that she said that, and you said that, kids idolize their teachers, which is true in some cases.
Okay. So I don't know if she's doing material here, but let's go with Bird's example. I saw my 4th grade teacher coming out of the liquor store with 2 brown bags, changed my life. Okay. Now, I can't remember her name, but we had a teacher in our school. We pulled into the local supermarket. I'm in my mom's car. I'm in the passenger seat, because back then child seats were bullshit, and not in the back. In the front seat, not in a child seat, not wearing a seatbelt. Good parenting, Mom. I pull in and I look to my right because the car next to me has got a woman in it, and it is our teacher smoking a cigarette. And she quickly goes like this to hide the fact that she's smoking a cigarette.
Okay, but there are some teachers that you can tell they smoke cigarettes, and it's not like...
No, well, yeah, you're right. Yes, but so up until that moment, and I think about this all the time because I remember it. You ever have those memories that they're just burned into your mind?
Sure.
Part of me feels like that is why today I kind of have like that's bullshit meter, because I caught this woman smoking when she's in class going, say no to drugs and smoking's bad and like all this fucking bullshit, and I feel like that's part of my attitude of where like, well, of course we're being lied to. What do you expect?
Well, that doesn't mean you're being lied to. I mean, if she said, what if in the classroom she said, yeah, I smoke, it's an addiction and I shouldn't be doing it, but they can't according to cigarette smokers, I'm not one of them, but according to cigarette smokers, it's an addiction. It's a drug. You can't help yourself.
I think
So if that's a
is...
lesson to teach kids, that, if you say, I shouldn't be doing this, but it's an addiction. That's how dangerous this is. And you tell the kids that.
I think that's something that around 8th grade, high school, you come to go, oh, all these adults are flawed and fucked up. I don't think that is something that 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders should be experiencing.
Fine.
I think it's
cigarettes. Okay.
I think it's awful, just as bad as being like, oh, I fuck all kinds of people.
See, again, no one's saying I fuck all kinds of people.
Well, but she explained to children what a pansexual is. It's unnecessary. It's not bad to be a pansexual. It's bad to tell an 8-year-old what a pansexual is. That's the difference.
Well, a lot of kids.
Frank, I wish I would have came across more pansexuals in my lifetime. I'm trying to get my wife to be a pansexual. It's not working.
I know someone. I'll do a Ginny now. I know someone.
Your wife?
No.
Good for you.
I do know my wife, but I know someone else who knew that they were
pansexual, babe. Did you hear?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I know someone who knew that they were gay when they were 10 years old.
Right.
But didn't feel comfortable coming out until 12 years later.
Right.
So now if at 10 it was a more widely accepted and understood thing, do you think that he would have felt more comfortable at that age? Because I knew him all his life, this person. And I know that from the ages of during his teenage years, for those 12 years, he was very introverted, shy, didn't really talk to anybody, and it was very, very to himself. Then as soon as he came out, 180, became this happy, over the top, great personality that you could, that was like, it was a relief for everyone, not just him, of course, for him, but for everyone else too. Everybody was like, oh, this is you. We're happy that you're yourself now. So do you think at 10, if he would have understood who he was a little better and was comfortable and it was accepted, just as that a man and a woman can be together, if it was, because that concept, a man and woman being together, is a concept you learn pretty early. The other combinations is also something that should be accepted pretty early.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when you're a kid, when you're a little 8-year-old kid, the concept of your mom and dad.
But again, we've talked about.
We're not talking about sex.
By the way, I agree with you. That's why I say if a kid raises their hand and goes, I got 2 dads, or Jimmy over there got 2 moms. Is that what's the deal with that? I'd be like, it's perfectly normal. Some people have 2 moms. Some people have 2 dads. Some people have a mom and a dad.
Did you ever think that this teacher, and again, I'm making a leap here. This could be a leap, but maybe the teacher knows that there are kids or a kid in the class and wanted to make them feel, hey, this is who I am. I'm proud to do this, to say this, and wanted to make it more of a comfortable situation for a student or students in the class.
Yeah,
because look at what happened after. They drew flags to honor who they were right after.
It sounds like a We Are the World moment. But the reality is, again, my kids have been around my uncles for the longest time. Not once, my son is going to be 7 in September. Not once have they been like, what I don't get is we got 2 uncles there and we got an aunt and uncle there. They have not noticed or differentiated whatsoever. And the reason is because they're not thinking in those terms at all. And I think you want to preserve that as a parent as much as you possibly can, because me, I'm not a bigot. It doesn't matter at the end of the day who they're fucking, but you also want to keep their thought about that innocent for as long as you can.
You keep talking about that. It's not that. It can be that, but it's also who they're in love with and who they're dating.
Like if a kid brings it up and if a boy raises his hand and goes, I got a crush on Carl over there. Is that okay? Yeah, it's fine.
Great. But how you just phrased it, I think, is how people who are, and I'm not saying you do, people who back this bill are going, oh, it's all about fucking and this
I agree.
and that.
I agree.
It's not that.
There's
It's
definitely
love.
bigoted people that are like, yes, we get to keep the gays in the closet for a little longer.
Yeah, because that side goes, oh, they're teaching the kids about sex and all different kinds of sex. And they're teaching the kids about being yourself and relationship. Like a man could be with a man, could like a man. Just the same way as your mom likes your dad and your dad likes your mom.
I don't know if they like each other anymore.
Tolerates.
Drives crazy.
Two men can tolerate each other too.
Yeah, but I think again, I agree with you.
You're making it sound so not innocent. Like
I agree with you, but I think
this person fucking. That's not the conversation. That is not the conversation.
I don't know. My wife works at a school too, and you should hear some of the shit these kids are saying. But the point is you want to preserve that innocence as much as possible. That's the point. It's not about being. That's why I keep saying. That's why my examples are all the same. Billy's got 2 moms. Is that okay? Yep. Who are you? Who do you love? Or who are you with? It's none of your business. Because
you could just as easily say it's none of your business. Absolutely.
There's a difference in those questions. Because if you say, "Oh, Billy's got 2 moms," is that okay? And you go, "We can't talk about this." Now you're causing damage, and that's why I'm against the bill.
Right.
But at the same time, that's why I said I could see why this bill is not unprovoked, because you have people like this that are like, "Oh, well, let me explain who you love and who you don't love." And as innocent as that is, and maybe this girl had great intentions, and I don't think she's a weirdo. I think she had good intentions. You still don't want to put that in the brain of a child that's not ready for it.
Put what in the brain?
The idea of love and sex and any of it.
See, it's not sex.
Because right now,
love. It's love and it's and it's
true. But right now, when you ask my kids who do they love mommy, daddy, their brother, their sister, grandma, grandpa.
Sure.
It's not dawning on them. Oh, I love so and so in class. That's not a concept to them. And it's going to be one day. And that's
your kids, how old are your kids?
In person's life. What?
Your kids are what, 6 and whatever?
My one kid is,
I don't know,
my oldest friend, everybody.
Who the hell are your kids? You have 7 kids, right?
It's going to be 7.
I said 6.
And the other one is going to be 5.
I said 6. I knew.
You know their names, honestly.
Yes, I do. I'm not going to say them, but I know their names.
Yeah, Frank's like, yeah, I know their names.
I know your kids' names.
I knew their names, but I've been sweating all episode, and now it's smudged. I can't read.
Damn it.
You know what I mean? That's really all it is. And by the way, again, and here's my point. If
I'm not saying you take a kid out of the womb and go, well, now men and women can be together, but women and women can be together. No, I'm saying that when they start asking questions like that, it's not, and you're a teacher and you're in art class. Oh, I have an idea. Let's make a flag honoring who we are as people, and, saying who, because obviously these kids, some of them made flags to show that they were gay. Obviously, these kids, some of them maybe have feelings like that. And that's natural.
True, but I bet you some of those kids were like, making flags for things that they weren't really, that they're not.
Or maybe they made the flags in some kind of support. Whereas, if let's say they make those flags, they don't even know what they mean. They put them up. Some kid passes through the hallway, maybe in another grade, and sees those flags up. That's only a positive. There's nothing negative there. There's nothing negative. That's the point. You're just saying there are different types. All you're saying is there are different types of relationships out there. Here's an example. This is one. This is the other. I
agree. I think that should be taught more, but not at a certain age. And here's the thing. There's never going to be a comfortable, definite age for that.
You can't say 9 years old, 10, 15 years old. You don't know.
It has to happen organically. I mean, you and I, we were in high school and had to take home letters to our parents being like, we're going to start to talk about this in health class. We got to health class, we got to sex education, and I remember we had to take home a letter. To me, that's a responsible way to handle it. Now, we didn't learn about it's okay to be gay and it's okay to be pansexual, I have no problem tossing that shit in there. I think that should be there. But I think it's a little weird when you do it at such a young age because the kids don't really even think like that.
Well,
and now you're giving them an idea. Again, it's not about being gay is bad or being straight is good. It's not about any of that. It's about this exists because some of them, there's going to come a point where my kid's going to come to me and he's going to be like, Dad, I kind of have weird feelings when I'm around so-and-so. And that's going to be the moment where it's time to talk to him about it, where it's time to say, okay, that's okay. You know, this is good, or this is how you should react, and don't force yourself upon anybody.
Yeah,
and we have all those conversations.
Sure.
That's
Sounds great.
The time it should happen. And a parent should get to make that decision, not, you know, not a teacher, especially not the art teacher.
What's the difference? All right,
because that's not their primary teacher. Art, music, you know, the kids that they go to one class.
Their primary teacher, doesn't matter. Someone they trust. What if the kid who said something, or what if a kid asks a question because they don't have someone to talk to like that? They don't trust their parents. They don't like their parents.
Yeah.
They like their teacher and they want to talk to the teacher.
That's where I disagree with Don't Say Gay. The teacher should have the ability to say, if the kid goes, I feel a certain way about so-and-so, the teacher should be like, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And that's what's being banned.
That's what's being banned.
That's bullshit.
They can't talk about it. And I think they should be able to say, and by the way, I don't think that they should know how to handle it, not make it awkward and be like, we can't talk about this, but they should be able to be like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And 100%. Then move on and then handle it in a way where you get the parents and you'd be like, hey, you know, Johnny so-and-so said this. And
it shouldn't be swept under the rug. It shouldn't be something.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be taboo.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between actually handling the situation the right way and what this law turned out to be.
The law is bullshit, and I just don't understand why people think it's okay. I don't get it. I mean, people could explain it to me till they're blue in the face, but it's not going to convince me otherwise. Because kids,
but do you see the difference there in creating that acceptable environment and then also having one kid or even 3 kids or 5 kids in the class being like, who do you love, or who are you with, or are you married? And then volunteering that information and then creating a whole lesson when, like, probably there's a bunch of kids in that class that have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, my kid is just Minecraft and, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, he's
okay.
He's going to be the latest bloomer. You could see it already.
Well, he gets it from you. That's normal.
Hashtag truth.
So I mean, what if? All right. Again, we don't know the kids in this class. We don't know the teacher. We don't know their situation. Whatever. So if the kid said, "Oh, who do you like?" and if she said, "I'm not talking about that right now," or "That's not," you know, then maybe she saw it, and I can't, you know, maybe I probably wouldn't have done the same thing in the situation, but maybe she saw it as, you know, this
opportunity to teach them.
Opportunity to teach them.
Not her place.
She's a teacher.
Not the art teacher.
So art or math or science or whatever.
If it's their regular teacher that's with them for most of the day, they're intimately involved with them, and they know this. Like we know,
she
our
probably sees them
kids
every day.
No, art, like they get that once a week.
You don't know what their curriculum is down in this school.
That's kind of what happens now. The art teacher gets them it gets every class like once a week.
That's not. It's not the same in every district. I'm sure it's different all over.
And again, I'm with you when it comes to 8th grade or high school or whatever it is, and they got to have that. You can have that talk with them. You can have
so the 14-year-old. So the art teacher can talk about it when they're 14, but not when they're 8.
Well, my thing is by the time
it's not their regular teacher.
By the time they're in the 8th grade, you know that shit is being brought up. They're a lot more aware.
Oh, absolutely, and we're more aware. Absolutely, and we're more aware than anybody younger. I get it, of course, for the most part, generally speaking. But my point is that talking about who people are is better than making it a taboo.
Yeah,
again, we're not talking about we're not talking about sex. We're not talking about body parts. We're talking about this person can like this person, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're talking about people are Sharon Loves Ice Cream said it best a little while up in the thing. I gotta scroll up a little bit, but she said it doesn't matter. She said that it doesn't matter who, you fall in love with people's insides, not necessarily their outsides, and it doesn't matter sometimes what they're out. It's you love who you love. That's it. It doesn't matter. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just
they're asking about it. They're obviously
fourth graders. No, but here's the thing, though. If every kid in the class is asking about it, it's a different story.
So
it's
what if
not the case?
What if 28 out of 40 kids are asking about it?
I still don't think it's great.
39 out of 40.
And then fuck that last kid.
Okay, fuck him. Yes. Get in line.
You get in line, asshole, because you're fucking behind. You're fucking everything up.
Right.
Yeah. I just think it's too much for them early on. I think a lot of that is happening.
Yeah, but I don't think it's.
I shouldn't say I think a lot of it's happening. I think it's happening, and I think it's what started all this bullshit to begin with.
Again, it's not about sex, though. They're not saying
I know, but I think you have a couple of second graders come home and say their teacher said this. Parents get all fucking crazy. Then you got a not so conservative governor, and then we wind up where we wind up. I don't think that what I'm saying is, back to my original point, it wasn't unprovoked.
Yeah, I don't think it was provoked. I don't think this reaction was provoked. Maybe it's hey, teach. Let's you don't have to bring up your personal life. If you don't, maybe keep the person.
They shouldn't say that they smoke and they fucking drink. They shouldn't say any of this stuff. If it's a lesson, like, hey, do you have hey, my dad likes to come home and have fucking 3 Manhattans. Do you do that? And the teacher should be like, no, I don't drink. I don't have any alcohol. I don't take any drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any of that. It's bad for you. You should be a good example.
You don't have to air out everything you do to everybody.
Exactly. That's why you shouldn't volunteer who you are sexually attracted to.
But you don't. It's not like. See, what you're saying is not drugs, and it's
I think
not.
You just made my point.
Wrong. No, what I'm saying is, you don't have to tell the kids you do drugs, because being a man being with a man or a woman being with a woman or whatever, or whomever is with whoever is not on the level of I'm a drug addict. It's not the same thing.
Okay, marijuana is becoming a legal thing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, right?
Okay.
You think a teacher should voluntarily tell 3rd graders that I gotta go home and take a gummy to deal with your bullshit every day?
I think I would respect that teacher a lot more.
I feel like
this fucking teacher's keeping it real. This teacher knows we're assholes.
I think teachers are doing it. I think my kids doing it.
I had a teacher in high school who just fucking flipped out on us. I mean, lost his mind in front of the class because the class was being a bunch of assholes. And I can't blame the teacher. The class was a bunch of assholes.
Mm.
And if he would have stood up there and said, I got to go home and just smoke a doob because you guys are being dicks, I'd be like, yeah, he's right. I don't blame him. We're dicks. And I would have been like, yeah, this guy, I mean, he's keeping it real, and that's who he is. But he would say, this is such an overreaction about the part, and it's okay. Yeah.
But that's you're talking about in high school.
No, but that whatever. If the teacher, that was just an example. If I was in 4th grade and a teacher was like, and it's legal, and they'd be like, all right, this teacher's kind of cool.
All right, there's a couple of good points here. Wait, let me go over to somebody comments. They're coming in very fast. I'm losing them. I don't know, but somebody just said liquor and cigarettes are legal, which is is a good point. Marijuana, all that. I think they're saying. But Sharon Loves Ice Cream says Frank, she's on Team Frank. This is such an overreaction. If a teacher talked about their partner, it's okay, but not about your same-sex partner. But see, that's what I'm saying. In this particular instance, she had she's got a husband, but she just volunteered that she is attracted to everybody. So it's not an anti-gay thing with this woman. It's just that she's bringing up.
So if she would have stopped at "I have a husband," is that okay?
I just don't think I don't think that the kids need to know that.
That she has a husband?
Yeah. I don't think that they need to know that. Now, like if they're gonna, like if they run into, if there's a, you know, award night and she brings her husband, fine. If she brings her wife, fine. Like if that's the thing, then that's the thing.
Yeah,
Nobody should be living in the closet. I'm not for that.
Yeah, discussing your personal life, I get it. You don't have to discuss your own personal life. Fine. Maybe that's where that kind of,
it's the volunteering of information. Like, are you married? I'm married now, but I fucked women in the past, or I loved women in the past. Not necessary. I'm married to a man now, but I used to gangbang. And like, it's not necessary. There's nothing wrong with any of it. Gangbang all you want. Bang chicks and dudes.
you just
and
can't
all
talk
of it.
about it.
Just don't volunteer this information to 3 third graders. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, I'm banging everybody. It's not.
Even if you say love, I've loved everybody. It's still, it's not.
If she would have
place to say it.
I have, again, she has a classroom full of kids who maybe she knows a couple of them have,
pull them aside or do that.
But she wants it to be something that everybody hears so that maybe they won't be bullied anymore. Or maybe they could be proud of who they are.
I think kids don't really give a shit about that for a long time
until
one day they all kind of care about it.
Exactly. But maybe that was happening. Maybe a kid was being bullied.
In 3rd or 4th grade or not in middle school.
The kid, maybe, you don't know what was going on. What if the kid...
Okay, if a kid was being bullied, she would have said it. That's a different story. That's a different
Maybe she doesn't want to air this kid's personal problem.
She can't just say one of the kids was being bullied, and I felt that if I explained what I was or my preferences,
I don't know. All right, maybe that's not what happened.
That's a different story.
I'm bringing up an example of maybe she had a reason.
I'm fine with your example. I'm
saying maybe she had a reason to bring it up. I don't know. Again, we don't even know how it was asked. We said they asked her about this, but we don't know the verbatim. We don't know who brought it up.
Gary says Cuddles must be a saint. What is that supposed to mean?
This chat has your fucking number, man.
She's a saint. That is irregardless of this conversation.
Irregardless.
Her patience has
there's another reason she's a saint. She puts up with words like irregardless.
She is especially a saint. All right. Let me see. Do we have any more topics? I don't think.
What was the airlines one?
Oh, the airline one. Yeah, this is the most important. Okay, you got to tell. This was your story, right? The Virgin fucking flight.
Okay, so yeah, it was. We were going to bring it up a little while ago.
Flight attendant told the whole
no, not the flight.
Who she has sex with. It was
okay. The flight was not ready to hear it. What happened was there was a plane. It was in Europe going from one country to another. I don't remember the countries off the top of my head, but it took off, and when it got to whatever 30,000 feet or whatever how high it was, the pilot gets on the speaker and tells the whole plane, I'm sorry, but I am not qualified to fly this airplane. So the co-pilot had to take it back. They turned around, they landed back at the airport they took off from. And apparently the thing is that there is a shortage of certified pilots or something. You have to get a certain amount of hours, blah, blah, blah. And the airline's response to this was the guy had enough hours. He just didn't sign the paperwork or whatever the hell it was. He didn't attend the ceremony. There was some technicality that didn't make this guy a complete, pilot. Like it was something that he'd missed out on one thing or something. So he was technically not supposed to be flying it yet.
Jesus.
So they turned around. They landed back at the
By the way,
airport.
You had it a little wrong. They were leaving London Heathrow Airport going to New York.
Okay, London to New York. Okay, thank you.
So that is not the place to discover at 30,000 feet in the air.
Over the Atlantic Ocean.
When you got another 7.5 hours to go. Oh, wait, I'm not qualified to do this.
Yeah, I shouldn't be flying, all you guys. That is a disheartening thing to hear. Yeah, so I guess the co-pilot just fucking turned it around. I was like, guys, we got a situation here.
Well, here, let me see here. The first officer hadn't completed the airline's final flying test. Is what it was.
There you go.
So they're saying it's a rostering error.
Oh,
Again,
so they put someone on the roster that shouldn't have been on it.
Yeah, don't they have pre-flight checks where they could check this shit out before they get up at 30,000 feet?
Not only that,
just bullshitting to each other in the cockpit.
Not only that, to get onto the plane or even through the airport.
Yeah.
As a pilot, shouldn't you have to have some kind of ID to get through everything? And don't you not have that ID until you're confirmed as a pilot?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you have an ID to get through, like, because you have a training ID or whatever the hell it is. But to go through a commercial airport and get on a plane, you should have some sort of. And why would this guy bring it up while they're in the air, not on the ground?
I think they were just bullshitting in the cabin. Like, how about that last flight exam? That was a pain in the ass, wasn't it? I don't know. It wasn't.
There was a last flight exam?
I didn't think it.
Imagine he came to the realization in the air, like, oh shit, I was supposed to take that test. Hang on a second, I'm gonna tell the whole plane this. Even if that was the case, do you get on the loudspeaker and tell the entire plane, or do you tell the other guy, listen, we're having some technical issue, can we just turn around?
See, my friend, you don't always have to give out all the true information.
Sometimes
when people's lives make some shit up to make everybody feel a bit better about themselves.
That's not the same thing. To make people not panic on an airplane, you tell them something to keep their nerves.
Let me give the airlines further advice. Lie to me even more. Tell me the bathrooms are backing up. Don't be like, there's a light out or some shit. I don't want to know any electrical thing has gone wrong in any sense.
Yeah, I forgot my cell phone back at the gate.
I forgot my.
I
think I left the toaster on. We got to go back.
My stove is on. Fine. I didn't feed my cat. Great. Let's turn around.
Let's turn it around. Don't tell me shit ain't working right, because I'm very uncomfortable.
We lost a wing.
Yeah. You ever get that? There was like, I was on a flight once, and the pilot goes, we have a major electrical issue. We
have a major electrical issue.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He goes, we have a major electrical issue, and we're going to need to taxi back to the gate to get it fixed.
Wait, you weren't in the air?
No, we weren't in the air.
Okay.
We have a major electrical issue. Got to go back to the gate. Okay, fine. We get back to the gate. Literally, when I tell you 4.5 minutes passed, I go, okay, we're clear. And I go, wait a second. Wait a second.
We had to turn the plane off and on again. It was fine.
Yeah, that is not major fixing worthy time.
I bet they called the IT guy. And the IT guy was like, did you try turning it off and on? Did you blow in the little?
Yeah. No, what happened was
clear it right up.
What happened when we fix shit that we just slap it and it starts working and you go, huh, okay.
Did you ever see this video of it? I guess on TikTok or something. There's a guy, a passenger sitting in the plane looking out the window, and there's duct tape around the literally around the engine and the wing. Duct tape.
Well, duct tape is pretty strong. I mean,
I'll give you that.
It's not too bad.
That's true.
If it was that masking tape, then we got some issues.
Gorilla tape's good.
Yeah.
If it's painter's tape, don't get on that plane.
What is this talk in the chat that everybody's on Cuddles now? Clap twice if Cuddles needs help. Cuddles is fine. What is all this? What am I missing here? Somebody said something, and that's now everybody's worried about Cuddles.
There are resources, Cuddles. Wow.
There are resources.
They're all afraid. They're all afraid for Cuddles.
Cuddles for the win. Cuddles is just fine. But you don't always got to worry about Cuddles.
Cuddles, yell if you can hear us. All right, I think we're how are we doing here on time?
We almost hit 3 hours because of your attitude.
That's good. Because of your attitude.
When I was ready to wrap this show up at an hour 30, and you just kept right on going.
Listen, when you have a good point, you got to hammer it home.
That's true. That's that. Hey, good point.
Thank you.
Good point. Hey, if you can't see the entertainment value in this episode, we don't want you as a member. Okay.
Honestly,
seriously, you don't deserve all the extra content that comes
Yes.
with being a member on this program.
Agreed.
Link in the description below to become a member and see some exclusive material that you can't get everywhere else, including who J Sabs was.
Yeah, that was a weird. You sent me the photo. That was a weird one.
Who she was with. That was not her husband that we caught her in the act.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not planned, not a bit. Everything you see really happened.
Yeah, that was a real.
It wasn't like J Sabs, do this, it'll be funny for the show. That's not what happened.
It was just her on a whim doing something.
On a whim. Also, the thing that her brother did just prior to her family is a big source of entertainment for the members only area.
But they are an HR nightmare.
100%. 100%. Join
It's
now
obscene.
for as low as $2.99. We're going to need it when we have to go to court for something that they're going to eventually do in the future. That's going to cost us a lot of money. So,
right.
Please join now. Again, link in the description or on the homepage of anthonyonair.com. Same place you can find links to Jumpstart Coffee Company. Grab some of their items, support the troops, Navy SEAL Foundation, and get some great coffee for yourselves. Have a great weekend. We will catch you guys back here on Monday. Show goes live just after 8:30.
Show me potato salad.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.